Really?
Yeah.
Shit.
How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? I'm Be Wise. I'm Be Wise. I'm here with Miles.
Miles,
What's
brother.
going on?
Miles.
Miles, Booby Miles. I'm sorry, Booby Miles.
Mm-hmm.
You got Miles? That's M.A. I ain't tripping, am I? Is
Yes,
it
the man.
M.A.?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're using our superhero names today. Oh, all right. Let me see what. Well, I don't know what trigger is, but yeah, brother, how you doing? How you feel? How
Yeah,
you been?
living life, man. Enjoying life. How about yourself?
Same thing, brother. I'm breathing, so I'm happy. My kids,
Yeah.
everybody good, everybody healthy, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm in a good place, brother. Good place.
That's
Panthers
what's
ain't
up.
winning, but that's another thing. That's another thing. That's another thing. All right. If y'all live viewer, all right, we got somebody tuned in. I don't know what T trigger is.
Mm-hmm.
So you been watching NBA? How you feel?
Watching it now. Watching the. I just got home watching the Knicks and the Panthers. Not the Panthers. The Celtics.
Yeah, yeah, they on your mind. I know they on your mind. You nervous for that game?
No,
It's
because
all
you
right.
just
We'll
said
get into it.
something.
We'll get into it. You nervous for
Yeah,
that game?
I'm excited. I don't really watch too much regular season NBA. I
Yeah,
really wait till like the postseason till I get into it. But I'm excited it's back. I'm excited to see what Milwaukee's gonna do. The situation in Philly with James Harden. I don't know why teams are still interested in picking him up.
yeah. He
Like
came
Denny
back
Green
today.
say, like the Denny Green say, he is who you thought they were. Like he's showing you who he is. Why are you still, dealing with this dude?
Yeah,
It ain't like he the James Harden from 5, 10 years ago.
facts.
But
That Speaking of James Harden, you took me back to something that you were saying about refereeing. I know we got a lot of stuff going on with refereeing lately, but with the stuff that happened in Cleveland or Indy.
what
But
happened?
Gil was, the NFL came out and said they blew the call. They blew the game call on that one. I forgot what the exact call was, but they came out today and they said, yeah, we blew it.
All right, so here's my thing. I mean, maybe you can call me biased because I officiate.
That's what I was about to say. I was about to,
People need to realize officials are humans too.
yep,
Just like coaches make the wrong plays, players miss assignments. We blow calls too. Um, you know, but one thing I've learned: one bad call does not decide the outcome of a game. So, who was the final score of that Cleveland Indy game?
uh, 1 second. I think it was 2 points. It was
Oh,
38-33, I think, but let me hold on. Let me get it for sure. It was, oh my God, do I got dial up? Come on.
mhm.
Yeah, this is crazy. Um, NFL scores. Sorry, everybody. Boy, you over there messing it up.
Mm-hmm.
It's 39-38. 39-38. Sorry
All
about
right,
that. 39-38.
didn't Miles Garrett block a
Field
field
goal.
goal?
Uh-huh. They was
Mm.
talking about that this
There
week.
you go, right there. One thing my coach always told us: don't ever put the game in the officials' hands.
Yep.
So, um,
That's but I was saying like you was talking about officiating And Gilbert Arenas was saying something that reminded me of what you were saying. He was like, the referees, they're gonna call it how you play it too. Sometimes, if you want to play it, like especially in basketball, if you want to play it where you want to be tough, rough, and go get it, then that's how I'm gonna call the game. Don't be looking for that foul later on because that's how I'm gonna call the game.
Right.
But if you want to go and actually use skill and somebody hit you for real and alter the game, then that's how I'm gonna call it.
Mhm.
I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it the same and however you bring it.
Yeah.
And that's
So
pretty much what you were saying.
yeah. So with basketball, I don't really know, but with football, we're taught we only call the big stuff. The little ticky
Yeah.
tack shit, we gonna leave that alone. Because you can call a flag on every play, then you be here all
Right.
goddamn day, and then fans be crying, why let them play? Stop throwing flags on every play. So it's a lose situation, but
Right.
we know how to. I mean, we know what's up. So one thing you learn is referees you're never going to be like. So
Yeah, that's what like that's what it comes down to because that's what Trigger was talking about too. He was like the refs maybe should have like post game, like yeah, we messed up. We know, like we get better too. Like just like the athlete go and get better, we got to go and get better too.
we got class every Tuesday. We get film every week, and we look at what we did wrong. We get observed every game.
Yep.
After every game, we get observed. And what we did wrong, what we could have done. So I mean, it's a learning experience for everything. But
But yeah, it's like you said, y'all got class too. Like
mm,
we getting better too. Like my bad, like I messed up too. I can't call it now because then I got to do that all the time.
yeah. Next play.
Yeah. Just like when you threw them 3 picks. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. I had to tell the coach that. I said, "Now, is it my fault your defense can't stop the running back?"
He didn't say that.
I did. I did.
He said,
I told it was James River and Douglas Freeman, and he was complaining all night. And I said, we've been making terrible calls. So is it my fault that y'all can't stop this running back? He had 4 touchdowns.
"Oh
And then the
wow."
assistant coach was like, "Man, watch your mouth." And that's when I threw a flag. I told head coach, you better talk to him. I mean, y'all already getting blown out, but I mean, you don't want another 15 yards. So,
Dang, you become.
now I will admit I was in the wrong. I shouldn't have said that, but like I said, we are humans too. Um, I've been in quite a few altercations. We almost got into a fight with the fans in Colonial Heights.
I'm telling you, about to be like one of them refs on these videos, man. Like the parents, man.
We had to tell them like, look, this uniform come off. And the police had to, the police that escorted us back to the school. They had to, break us up and get us guided back to the school.
So with all that being said, is there a need for refs?
Yeah, there's a dire need. There's a referee shortage.
How many?
Maybe not on the NFL level, but
yeah, I'm talking about a local level. Like
people
in the community.
The pandemic was the main reason.
Yeah,
but no one wants to do it because they don't want to deal with the coaches and the parents. Because the parents are out of control.
Right.
So, I mean, and then you ain't really, you don't do it for the money. You do it for the love. Because I mean, by the time when you do driving and using up your time, you really ain't making no money. You do it because you love it.
I hope you LLC'd up and you writing this off as business expenses, my brother.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, oh yeah,
okay,
I'm definitely writing this off on my taxes.
okay, I'm about to say
by the mileage.
Okay, I'm about to say.
Me and my sister do this every year. We work. We go through how much miles I use.
Yeah.
So.
Oh no, you writing off all that car?
Well, so I got the schedule of where my games is, and then I meet
it out from there.
High school, so it's the same distance every Tuesday. So
yeah, and plan it out from there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It ain't got to be accurate, but
yeah, it's just don't be no egregious common sense.
No, don't sit there and say from Chester to Verona is 100 miles. Clearly, it's not.
Yeah, I'm trying to get them. That's what people mess up at. You don't gotta do all that if you Make it make sense is pretty much what it says. Just
Mm-hmm.
make it make sense is pretty much the text. That
Yeah.
ain't tax advice. Please do your own research. Don't listen to that. That is not tax advice.
Mm. So what Trey coming on here to talk about?
I don't know. We was coming on here to recap the first half of the NFL season and what's
Okay.
going on so far. But and then I'm watching the Heat versus Pistons game right now. We in y'all right now, 58-47. But
Oh, and then league pass.
huh?
What channel that on?
Yeah, it's on NBA League Pass.
Okay. No, I ain't got
Yeah.
that.
Huh?
No, I ain't got that.
I got the one you used to get in the hood.
Okay.
I had the box. My cousin came and split the line from
You gonna make that on TV? You gonna make that on FCC Airways, huh?
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. We don't got cable boxes no more.
Yeah,
Nah, it's the little league pass joint.
I got you.
Little league pass. Yeah, I don't know. I told Trigger he's supposed to be on. He usually. I hope everything good because he'll usually text me if he's dealing with something.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, NFL season going good. I don't know about. I think San Fran. How do you think? You think they gonna get it together, or this is who they are?
I told Trigger in one of the past episodes, I was like, I said Brock Purdy is just a guy. We got to hold off. This was before they started losing. We got to hold off and we got to see because San Fran is a team that get hurt. And then everything looked good until they get hurt. I know Christian do for one. Debo always do for one. I wasn't expecting Trent. But then also, I know this is an overreaction. I should save it for overreaction Monday, but does Christian McCaffrey got a fumbling problem? And Brock Purdy's just a guy.
Well, I mean, he was the last pick in the draft for a reason.
Like, I hate that. And it's the thing, it's the opposite end with Bryce. Like, yeah, Bryce deserves, just like Brock Purdy deserves some of the credit because he was doing well and he's doing good. He's doing great at quarterback for what he's presented and how he is, like you said, last pick of the draft. But just like Bryce, people are criticizing him way too much. Like, he's getting over criticized. Like, just let him be a chance to let him be a first round pick. Like, it's okay. Yeah, CJ was ready because CJ, he going out there, he balling. CJ had the personality come out that he had that little bit of that dog to him. And that's what I liked a little bit more about CJ was he got a little bit of the outward dog, but Bryce is a fighter. I mean, I'm a short guy. I'm a short guy in a big guy's world. Like, man, it really don't matter. It's my technique and everything. Like, let me get settled. Let me get in, and it's game on.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't expecting instant success this year, but I've been telling Trigger, bro, Carolina ain't out of it. I don't care what nobody said. Carolina ain't out of it yet.
Well, the NFC South ain't really all that deep.
3 wins, and we damn near at first place.
Yeah.
And we got Houston, Indianapolis, and the Bears next.
All right. Damn, piece of chicken flew in my eye. My bad.
You good. And then we got then Dallas comes to Charlotte to get that butt whoop.
That's the Sunday before Thanksgiving, right?
Yes, sir.
Me and Brittany was trying to go to that game, but something happened.
Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to go to it too, but I may be more on the NBA this year.
I understand.
Because we are 0-6, and if Carolina don't start doing good, I watched every game, and I don't know. Thomas Brown switching and becoming a play caller. Miami game gave me hope. I don't know what happened. We were at 14-0, and then something happened. But that's also my thing that me and Trigger was also talking about. Is Miami really that good? Who have they beat? So
who they beat, and I mean they got a lot of skill power, but they only scored 17 points. We'll see. Can that type of style be effective in January or in a cold city?
Yep. Because Buffalo had already put it on y'all, and I told Trey that we was talking about it. This is gonna be a tough season. I told him like it may be a couple 14, 15s, but I think this is gonna be 10, 9, 8 years. Like I don't think it's gonna be the years of wins getting into the playoffs.
Oh, where winning 10, 11 games gets you a number 1 seed.
Yeah, like the
I
number one
guess.
seeds are gonna be. It seemed like Philly is winning in spite of, and then it just. Damn, I got my camera off. And then I just feel like it's wide open. You don't know. You don't. It goes week to week. This league right now
Yeah,
is week to week.
yeah. And then injuries is gonna play a factor, and
Yep. We got JC's been hurt all year since the first game of the season. We get JC back. Xavier Woods. I saw his practice clip of him today, so he's coming back.
uh
Um, I think our defense may be trending up, and then Bryce gets it together. Hey
hmm
man, it's some hope. It's some hope in Carolina, but it's also some realism where that may not happen because I've seen some pretty bad stuff, but
hmm
we can
Time.
hope.
Does that say semi-amateur athlete under
Yes,
your
sir.
name?
Yes, sir. I, I was being humble.
You was being humble.
Larry, don't play with me, bro. Don't play with me.
Brother, I'm just.
Don't. My mic is messing up. Don't make me bring up Charlotte. What? Tell him I had you. I
You
look
ran
like JJ out there. I look
one
like
route
JJ
on
out
a
there.
concrete road.
I look like Stephon Diggs. Actually, no, I look like Stephon Diggs near the goal line right there. I
Okay.
look like Stephon Diggs. He can't say. He say he know it.
I'll give you that.
Yeah. See. Hey, that's that title. That title's well earned, brother. They know about me in local social circles.
I got you.
No, they don't. But they're going to once I get back into it. Man, you got me interested in refereeing.
Hold on, let me send this text right here. Hold on.
You good? You good? I gotta get my mic fixed. I'm gonna need you to run some dialogue.
Okay. So, what sport are you interested in doing? Hello, can you hear me? Alright, I can't hear you though. Okay. I mean, yeah, football, man. So here's the thing. Don't like we talked about earlier. Can't do it for the money. You got to do it because you love it. If you do it for the money, you gonna hate it.
Hey,
Um.
as long as it's like $100, $200 a month, I'll be like,
Oh yeah, hell yeah. Cause it's so JV is $90. Then
oh, we
varsity's
in there.
150. Yeah, and varsity's
What?
115.
Hey, what?
Yeah. So I got 3 games a week. So I have 2 JV games and 3 varsity games.
Okay.
Now if you do little, so now only thing is you get paid the week of Thanksgiving. You get
Yeah.
paid total. Now if you do little league, you get paid bi-weekly. But it's you know the thing what a lot of people drop out is the cost of the gear. It's like three four
Cost to
hundred
do
dollars.
business. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's $300-400, which you mean you'll make it back, but
That's a tax deduction too, though. That's tax write off.
yeah. And
That's
then
tax free.
it's very time consuming. So classes start in June for like first year starting off, and it's every
Right.
Tuesday, which is not bad. But then when the season starts, you got class on Tuesday, game Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday for 2.5 months. And if you
Oh
do
wow.
little league, you got Saturday. So with a wife and 5 kids, I'm not gonna say it can't be done, but it will be.
I mean, for me, it's taking the kids to the game too. It's
Mm.
letting
So
them sit there.
now here's the thing.
I can't bring them down. Got me.
No. You can bring them. I would advise you not to, because like we talked about, referees are not like. So I don't know if Katie got rabbit ears or not. They ain't gonna say nice things about you.
Oh, she does. You know who my friends are.
Okay, well that's true. I know. Yeah. So I
You know.
mean, that's why a lot of wives don't go to the game because. But I mean, it's. I love it. We definitely need to get younger.
What
Um.
about all right? What about all right? My business mind is my business mind flipped on. Remember we was talking about the vending machines.
Mhm.
What is it that you see that could be an opportunity where you say you start Mallory refereeing and you contract your own guys and you teach them how to do it and you get on with these games and you set up things different to actually work around guys' lives and give guys the opportunity to fully maximize and make it a career for some guys or give people who don't have an opportunity or need something to do a way to make that's pretty decent money. I mean,
Yeah.
you think about it and if you actually make something around it to get people into it, what's
Mhm.
keeping you from starting Mallory's referee?
Well, I wouldn't because it's Virginia, the state of Virginia, and so we're under VHSL. So I could start like maybe like a training thing. I mean, I never really gave it that much thought. Because I mean there is training in the VHSL. Um, maybe not at the high school level, but maybe I could start like so. Like in April, I'm going to Carolina for
Yep.
CIAA training.
Okay.
So let's say 10,
Now you
15 years.
regional.
I'm
Now
yeah,
you
10,
regional.
15, huh?
I said now you regional.
Yeah, so maybe like 10, 15 years if I'm good enough and I got my name up there. Maybe I can start my own little camp or whatever. But like high school level, I mean, I'm not saying it can't be done, but it's like competing with the NFL.
You in it, so you know better. I figured it was maybe like VHSL is like if somebody take this off our hands and we don't got to worry about it, and you'll do everything, you'll handle compliance, you'll train them, you'll do all that, and we can pay y'all, and you're
Nah,
guaranteed.
VHS they want to keep everything in house. I mean, like I said, I mean I've never seen no one do it. I mean, they say it can't be done, but VHSL they run that because
Is
VHSL
VHSL
have their own because VHSL has their own set of rules, so they want to teach it because it's their rules. Where they have outsider teach it was like, what the hell I'm gonna pay him for when I can teach it, whatever. So to them,
well,
it's probably like wasted money.
I say it in the fact in that sense of for VHSL, instead of employing all of y'all, I maybe employ two, three, four people now that are kind of like the eye in the sky, the reviewers to make sure that you're following our training,
Mm-hmm.
you're following everything that we want to be followed,
Mm-hmm.
and that's all we got to pay. So now you got to think about it. Our budget goes down now to maybe we can do more of the other stuff we want to do because now I only got four people on payroll that I just need y'all to like just step in and make sure they're doing everything because we trust you because you came from us and you know what to do and you kind of know what we want. Y'all attend all the training instead of doing it every Tuesday. We kind of like try to get it consolidated or something to where you can get it knocked out quickly and everybody can do it maybe over a weekend. So maybe you come in for like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday or something. I don't know what you do on the
Well, here's
weekends
the thing: you
usually.
can't do it on Friday because games on Friday.
No, before the season starts.
Oh, before the
That's what I'm
season?
saying.
No, I
Like,
mean,
is it something that you don't have to have every week, or is it something that you need every week? You think?
well, to be honest with you, it's a bunch. I mean, before the season, it's helpful, but once the season starts, it's just a bunch of bullshit.
Right.
Bunch of
That's what I'm
old
saying.
guys, just bunch of old guys just fucking around arguing.
And that's what I'm saying because I heard an old coworker. He was talking about the refereeing too, and I just feel like they don't have them or it's arguments and all that kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
I saw an opportunity when you said that. So I was saying, is VHSL are they like the NFL, UFC, or they're more like NCAA? They're here because won't nobody else say nothing against it, or if you kind of get what I mean. What's up, Trigger?
Uh,
Going on? What's
honestly, I
going
don't know
on?
because I don't think anyone has ever really challenged it. I don't think anyone's ever really thought about starting on their own, doing their own. I think everybody's just come in and be like, all right, VHSL is what we're gonna do, and then because a lot of guys, I mean, you don't get a lot of money, so a lot of guys got other, you got your full time job, you got
Yeah.
your family. So it's already the job is already time consuming as it is. You ain't trying to add more
Dang, they done got him. VHSL done shut him off. VHSL done shut him off.
Ain't like what he was saying.
Hey, Trigger.
Be wise was good.
Carolina playoff. Carolina Panthers gonna win the NFC. So
I don't think so, but if that's what you want to believe, then you have the right
hit
to
me out.
do that.
Hit me out. All right,
Okay.
I got it pulled up right here. Hold on. The leader of the division is 4-3. We won our next
Hello?
three games. We 3-6. Yeah, we here. We hear you, Miles.
All right, my
Miles.
fault.
Miles. Booby Miles. It's Miles. Trigger.
Oh
We
shit, I ain't even see Trigger.
you can't see that black chocolate man right there.
Damn, Larry.
I almost slipped a word.
Mhm.
Are you saying Dan Larry because the Heat blowing the Pistons up?
Man, we so cheats, man. I don't, that's why I don't even pay the Pistons no mind. Look, Cowboys
That
doing somewhat decent. Florida State doing their thing. I
yeah,
ain't
Florida.
say
We talked about Florida State too.
for defense, man. That run defense is. Ugh. They're a good second half team, but first half they give me the heebie-jeebies.
I'm gonna put some in y'all ear for what y'all think about for later on. John Harbaugh is coming to the Carolina Panthers, but all right,
John Harbaugh. Now,
Still,
is that the Ravens coach
okay.
or the Michigan coach?
the
Michigan,
Michigan,
Michigan.
Michigan.
Okay.
It's too much going on. He gonna have to get out like Pete did. He's gonna come and he's gonna do what Pete did to the Seattle Seahawks, and Bryce is gonna be our Russell Wilson. We got a defense that's gonna be dominant, and an offense that just go out there and score.
Mm.
And we're gonna have a new Legion of Boom with J.C. Horn, Jeremy Chin, Sam Franklin, Xavier Woods, Von Bell, and Dante Jackson.
Mm.
Manifestation. But Miles, that's what I was trying to say. Are they more of like a NCAA entity, and like you were saying, like they haven't just really been challenged? And I think
Yeah, they just really haven't been challenged. I think people just they are content on how it's ran. Ain't no one really trying to But, I mean, it's a lot. And then, like I said, I don't really know the whole hours of it.
ins and outs. Yeah.
Yeah, ins and outs. Even maybe you can get like a seasoned official who's like been doing it for 30 years. I don't know how so I don't know how that would actually work. Um,
I say it in the sense of because you provide more opportunity. Because, like you said, guys got full time jobs. So if you could be able to push more partnerships and have guys that can go to like what Trigger does with the rec league, who they just won a championship this year, like you can do rec games to where, hey, you may be able to come in Thursday because you got your full time, but you can make up for it and get a whole set check by coming in Saturday, Sunday to do a rec league or youth league or different things like that to where it's more
so
flexible.
here's the thing with that. We don't get paid by BHSL. We get paid by the schools.
Oh, it's they out the window. We got they out the door then, brother.
Yeah. So
They out the door then.
yeah, we don't. Yeah.
Because then now your pitch to the schools is I'm more efficient. I handle it. We'll handle everything in house. You handle everything directly with me, and we tie it to I empower youth. I get youth in the referee programs, and I help misguided people who need jobs, and I get them in the referee program and all that kind of stuff. You make it like a your pitch in the philosophical way because it's
Mm-hmm.
true. I didn't know you made that much money. That's a lot of money for people who don't have money. So that's definitely a great way for that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's a thing that you probably could do way better than what's being done right now. And then you can make it less easy and probably less hassle free for the schools because you probably build a more personal connection, especially with you being part of the schools.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Like I said, I ain't never really give it much thought.
Because then you step away from actually doing the games and you just could be floating too and making sure everything is
Yeah.
you build your team like that, and then maybe you making that off of two officials you got out, and then you got about 10, 15, 20 officials out that weekend.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what that game becomes. You still got your daytime.
Mm-hmm. What trigger though?
I don't know.
Mm.
I was
Then they
But I
taking
got
the
mean,
him
I
Florida
too.
mean, yeah, I
weekend.
like how you think outside the box though, man. That's definitely different. But yeah, if you interested, let me know so I can
I am.
let my commissioner know. I mean, it's too late now. 'Cause the season, it's two
No,
weeks left
definitely
in the
next year.
season.
Next year. Next year.
But yeah, I'll let him know, and then he'll call you and let you the ins and outs. And then, like I said, classes for first year starts in June. Um, what I'm gonna say is stay hydrated. Stay
Or no, I
hydrated.
said, yeah. Let me talk to him and holler at him because if it's a shortage too, I can help out in that way. Of it's different ways that you can market to get more people in here, and you could be getting a lot more
And
money
that's
to
where we're
pay.
struggling because we got these old heads that still want to, advertise through newspapers, through the Richmond Times
Nah,
Dispatch.
bro, you got to go where the eyes are. You got to go where the
Yeah,
eyes are.
but then, like I said, at the end of the day, it's not the sexiest job for young people. Our generation is the easiest way to make money,
Yeah,
and but
I mean, shoot, you think about it, in this time, that's the easiest way to make $200 in a weekend.
yeah, I mean, I think so. Yeah, and like if you do little league shit, you might go home with $500.
Look at that.
Yeah, like if you
Especially you
do,
get them baseball tournaments. Brian was talking about them baseball tournaments that they be out there umpiring.
yeah. I mean, yeah. Now baseball, yeah. Now the only thing about I just can't do baseball. It's too boring for me. Like I said, like I said, you can't do it for the love of the money. You got to do it because you love to do it. Because
Right.
with baseball, you're gonna be traveling. So like if you do travel league, shit, you might be in Cooperstown, New York one weekend, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. So you putting a lot of mileage on your cars, and you know that driving wears on you after a while.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And if you don't love it, you be like, man, fuck this money.
You gotta have that purpose behind it.
Yeah.
All right,
But all
Trigger
right,
want to
Trick,
talk.
I'm talking too much. I'll
Yeah,
let you
yeah,
get
we talking
with it,
about sports.
man.
Yeah, Trigger want to talk about sports. Go ahead.
What's on your mind? Anything Carolina Panthers related we can save for next season?
You hating?
I'm not hating, man. I'm just trying to save you some heartache, sir.
Tell me why we can't win the next 3 games.
I just don't see you doing it. I give you one of the next two, maybe against Houston or Indianapolis. Those games are winnable. One of those
Yeah, because
games
they
will be winnable.
Anderson out, ain't he?
Yeah, Anthony Richardson out for the year with the shoulder injury.
With our defense healthy and our offense clicking, stop playing with me.
All right,
Clicking?
what's the key word? The key word say win. Y'all defense can't stay healthy. You just said J.C. Horn. Hell, he's been hurt his whole career.
pretty
17 games
much.
played. 17 games played so far in 3 years. But it's he coming back. He coming back. Don't worry
Mm,
about that. He coming back. We're getting
okay.
Austin Corbett back. Xavier Woods is coming back. Chandler Zavala is coming back.
Mm.
Y'all got to tell me. You can't say it's not the way the NFL is going this year. You telling me it's not feasible that we can't beat the Colts, the Texans, and the Bears? Trigger. You can't look me in the face and tell me.
I just don't see y'all winning three in a row.
Did you see the 49ers losing 2 in a row?
I didn't, but it
Uh
doesn't
huh.
surprise me. It doesn't
So look.
surprise me because of
So can I get that answer the same
they're
way?
healthy.
It
They're
wouldn't
not healthy.
surprise me if they did. It wouldn't surprise me if they did because they're getting healthy. That's all I need you to say.
No, I just don't
That's
see it.
pessimism.
I just don't see it.
That's-
I just don't see it. I don't know.
you believe in the Cowboys every year, but you can't give me a little inkling of faith. You
No, I
believe the
don't believe in
Cowboys
the
ain't gonna
Cowboys.
end up.
Nobody leading the Cowboys every
Yeah,
year. I'm hoping,
I've
but I
been
don't
stopped
believe
believing.
in them.
I'm
That
hopeful
man.
and I
And
believe.
speaking of Dallas, I need to get something off my chest right now because this been bothering me all week.
Good
The
segue,
trade
Brandon.
deadline.
Hold on.
The trade deadline is approaching. That Tuesday. Tuesday coming up Tuesday. What's the day? Wednesday. So we got a little
Mm.
less than a week for trade deadline gets here. The Philadelphia Eagles
Mess up.
never fail to go out and get somebody, a game changer, somebody. How they do it when they're one of the bottom three teams in the league in terms of cap space, I don't know. But it just goes to show you that if a team wants to go get a player, we've talked about this before. If a team wants somebody, it doesn't matter what the cap is, they're gonna go out and free up some money somewhere. They will make it happen, one way or the other. Let's go back to the preseason, shall we? Zach Martin holds out because he is underpaid, which he is. Jerry Jones goes public on camera to the media. Hey, he can sit out all he wants. We're not paying him. We ain't got the money. Michael Parsons coming up, CD Lamb coming up. We got to get these guys paid. Can't do it. Not even a week later, Zach Martin went
Jack.
back in camp and they paid the man. So they
Jack.
found a way to make it happen. So why is it that the Dallas Cowboys are one of the top teams in the league right now in terms of having cap space? Philly's at the bottom, but yet Philly making all the moves and Dallas is sitting there like we good. Are you
Mm.
not watching the same team? Like we're 4-2, but we don't look like a 4-2 team. Like we
Well, you
still
know,
have holes on both sides of the ball that we need to fill up. Like it
well,
don't
you,
hurt to go add another receiver. Has
well,
Michael Gallup and Brandon Cooks been producing?
you know how Jerry Jones is. You know he don't like signing free agents. He believes in drafting his players and developing them. That's why I'm surprised he got
But
Stephon Gilmore and Brandon Cooks because he usually don't do that.
Okay, but my thing is, if you sitting here talking about some, my immortality or my mortality, I'm 80 years old and the size of check I would write to win another Super Bowl, it's right in front of you. Like the Titans, it's rumored out that the Titans are ready to clean house. That means Derrick Henry, DeAndre Hopkins could potentially be on the market. Those are two
Oh,
guys.
Carolina, go get DeAndre. Carolina, go
Those
get
are two
DeAndre.
guys. You cannot tell me we add one of those two guys that it will not help Dallas or not boost Dallas.
Mhm.
Mike Evans, he has a contract situation going on in Tampa Bay. Michael Thomas in New Orleans. There's been rumors about him. Devontae Adams. I know the Vegas, Raiders said they ain't gonna trade him, but people say stuff
Money
all the
talk.
time, and
Money
they,
talk.
change their minds. But there are a lot of players out there that could potentially be for sale if Dallas inquires about it. You think Dallas can't land one of them guys? And they probably have to give up maybe like a pick or something. Ain't like they got to trade one of their players away. If Jerry loves his players so much, you ain't trading no players. You're just trading picks probably, which shouldn't be a huge deal to you because you drafted like it wasn't a huge deal to you. You covered these first and second round picks, but yet the last 2 years, our first and second round picks ain't been in the game, ain't made no impacts. Our first round
Mhm.
pick this year, how many times he played? How many snaps he played in the regular season this year? What has
Who is our
Mozzie
boy?
Smith done? He's supposed to be our run stopper, right? What has he done this season besides
Mhm.
sit on the sideline? This is a first round pick.
Yeah.
Not, the ESPN was so thrown off by this pick that we made. They didn't have no video footage of this guy when they called his name. Nothing to bring up. He was the only guy in the first round that they were, oh wow, this first round pick. We ain't got nothing to show from. They had to wing it and go. They had to literally Google while they called his name to see this dude's stats and what he did in college.
Mm.
They had nothing prepared for him. Our first round pick. And our second round pick, the tight end, Luke Schoonmaker, how many snaps did he play this season?
Zero.
Now, there was rumors out there about the Cowboys potentially talking to the Arizona Cardinals about trading Zach Ertz, but with Zach Ertz now being on IR, that's likely dead, not going to happen. So we got to
Mhm.
fall on the tight ends that we have, which they haven't really been, outside of Jake Ferguson, Peyton Hendershot, Luke Schoonmaker haven't really been much of a factor. And even Jake Ferguson, I mean, he's, I think, second or third on the team in targets, but it don't seem like he really doing a whole lot of them. Targets ain't really amounting to the production that we need. He's not turning into that security blanket for Dak like I figured he would grow into at this point in the season. We're almost halfway through. Like, guys should be getting ready to separate themselves and like show like, hey, I could be, a three down tight end and come in and if you can't find CD, you can't find Gallup, you can't find Cooks, you're gonna have me. But I don't really see that with our tight end yet. So
Mhm.
I don't know, but it really irks me as a Cowboys fan how Jerry says he would do anything to win a Super Bowl, but yet when he has opportunities to do that, he don't take them. The Eagles front office, Howie Roseman is doing it. He went and got AJ Brown, and they just went and got Byard from the Titans. Like, bruh, like this
Mhm.
team is, and you wonder why the Eagles are 6-1. You wonder why Jalen Hurts can turn the ball over like he does, and they still win games because they're putting pieces around him that says, all right, Jalen Hurts can go out and make a few mistakes, but we're gonna be all right because we got studs on defense, we got studs on offense that can cover up for him and make up for it. Can we say that about Dallas when Dak Prescott turns the ball over? No. Maybe we go out and get a couple more guys to sure up that the linebacker spot. We go out and get another corner. We go out and we get a tight end or another receiver, a running back. All these are areas of need that I feel like would push Dallas in a closer vicinity in terms of being a championship contender. Because right now, this team, as currently constructed, yeah, they're gonna win some games, but in the postseason, they're gonna fall apart like they always do. Like the 49ers and the Eagles are the teams you're trying to keep pace with, right? The 49ers and
Mhm.
the Eagles are making moves. Randy Gregory became a free agent. Guess who jumped on that one? The 49ers. Ain't like they needed him, but it's like, hey, it's like we can get him. Why
I
not?
called that.
Why not make a strength even stronger? We got a good pass rush as it is. We're gonna make it even better and go get Randy Gregory. All right,
Mhm.
done. The Philadelphia Eagles, they had a pretty good receiving core. They had a pretty good run game with Miles Sanders. And then they go what? They get DeAndre Swift from Detroit. They go and get AJ Brown from Tennessee. They go and get Byard. They say the defense is good, but he'll make us a lot better. So we go out and we get him.
Mhm.
And the rumor is the Eagles are still not done. It's still moves they could possibly make before the deadline this upcoming Tuesday. And like, well, what else can y'all do? Y'all already strong. Like, what else do? But see, that's the whole thing. Like these championship teams, they have that mentality that no matter what we do, we always feel
Mhm.
like we can be better. We're never satisfied with what we have on our roster. If a player becomes available, we may not need him, but if we can make something strong even stronger, why
Mhm.
not go get him? For one, I'm making a strength stronger on my team, and two, I'm keeping them from potentially going against somebody I may have to play up against later in the season, if anything. So the 49ers and the Eagles, they're going out making moves. They're making their teams who are already juggernauts even better. You think the 49ers run game would have suffered a whole lot had they not gone out and got Christian McCaffrey? Was there any need? Was there any talks about the 49ers need a running back? They need to go and get somebody. Was there any talks of that before they went and made the Christian McCaffrey trade? No. The Panthers made Christian McCaffrey available. The 49ers like, we got a pretty decent run game. We do run the running game by committee, but man, we add Christian McCaffrey, bruh. So what they do? They go out and they add Christian McCaffrey. They didn't need him. The run game was already pretty decent, but they went out and got it. It was a power move. It was a move that said, "Hey, our running game is pretty good, but now it's going to be damn near unstoppable because we went and got the best running back in the game and put him in our backfield with Debo Samuel, with Elijah Mitchell, and you got Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle. You got a stellar offensive line, a defensive line. You got two of the best linebackers in the league in Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw. You got a shutdown secondary, and they still look to make moves. They still look to make their team better. The Philadelphia Eagles the same way. So Dallas, I know y'all see this, y'all watching this. The Eagles are doing this with barely anything in the cap space. What are we doing? Why are we not out here inquiring about certain guys? Why are we so hell bent on leaning on the guys that we drafted? They're not doing anything. Michael Gallup was targeted more than CeeDee Lamb in our last game against the Chargers, and the man only had 3 catches. I think he was targeted 13 times and had only 3 catches. And CeeDee Lamb had half the targets and did quadruple the amount of work with him than Michael Gallup did. That's a problem. If we're throwing that many targets to a guy that's not even producing like that, why are we throwing that many targets to our number 3 receiver? We need to go out and get another bona fide number 2 that can take pressure off of CD. We need to go out and get another running back, somebody who's a powerful back, like a Derrick Henry, like a Dalvin Cook. Both players could potentially be available. Why can't Dallas go pick up one of those guys and shore up that run game? Make things easier for Pollard. Make things easier for Dak. Mike McCarthy wants to run the ball. We ain't doing it with Tony Pollard. We hand the ball off to him. He can't run between the tackles. He's good in space. That's it. Derrick Henry can run through the tackles. They can load the box up against Derrick Henry. He's still gonna make something happen. They can load the box up against Dalvin Cook. He's still gonna make something happen. Tony Pollard's just not big enough to do it. They got to go get somebody else that's physical enough. Saquon Barkley. His whole contract situation's up in there. I know that probably won't happen because you got two rivals inside the same division. The Giants would never trade their star running back to the Dallas Cowboys. Like that. That just won't happen. But it don't hurt to go out there and look at a Derrick Henry, who you could pull from the AFC. Look at a Dalvin Cook, who you can pull from the AFC. You guys like to trade away their star players. They don't like to trade them away in their division. They don't like to trade them away in the conference. They'll trade them to the other conference. Where there's 2 running backs right there I just named that could potentially come over and be a Dallas Cowboy and help us out. Same thing with the receivers. Dallas needs to go and do something. They need to go they need to go and inquire about some guys. Like there are a lot of defensive players out there we could use, some offensive players we could use, and I think we could be better. But the Cowboys, for whatever reason, they want to be a championship team. They want to be around in the postseason. They want to get to the NFC Championship, possibly a Super Bowl. There's always talks every single year of them doing that, yet they never seem to be on the level of the San Francisco 49ers, of the Philadelphia Eagles when it comes to making their team better. They always think that what we have is good enough. The guys that we have are going to be the ones to do it. But yet the guys around them that they're competing with are constantly making moves to make their team better. And that's not slighting the players that they already have. They're like saying, hey, we're good. We love what we have, but I would love to make what we have even more special, even better, even more foolproof, even more unbeatable. What's wrong with that mindset? Dallas needs to come on board, man. The mindset of that front office, the mentality in that front office needs to change. And the Cowboys are not going to do anything this season or any other season, in the future if they continue to have this mindset that the guys we have are good enough. When you got superstar player after superstar player becoming available via trade, and we don't even inquire about anybody or try to go out there and get anybody to
I
make the
can't hear
team
you.
better, and wonder why the
Can you hear me,
Eagles
Trigger?
are on top. Yeah,
I
and
can't
you
hear you.
wonder why.
Is it me? Ouch. Hello, hello.
Yeah, yeah. Can you hear me?
I can't, hold on one second. Hello.
Yeah, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Hello.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Hello.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Oh. Can you hear me, Trigger? Trigger. Uh oh. How you doing? Where Trigger go? Hold on one second. Yeah, we having technical difficulties right here. Can't hear. My speakers went out, so I can't hear. Here we go. Hello. How you doing, Amber Ray? It's always something. It's always something. Ah, there you go, Trigger. Let me bring Trigger up here so you can talk.
Hey, you good? Can you hear me? Hello?
Hello. You good? Go ahead. You can talk. You can talk.
All right. Yeah, I was just saying that. What was I saying? I was saying that. Yeah, the Cowboys and everybody. You wonder why the Eagles are 6-1. You wonder why they're always on top. Wonder why they're always favorites to go to the Super Bowl every year because they make moves like this in the off season and during the season. They never stop improving their team. They never stop making their team better, more competitive. And like I said, until Dallas adopts that mindset and they get out of their own way, the Eagles are going to continue to run roughshod over the NFC East. But that's all
I'm
I had to
sorry.
say about it. No, you good. That's all I had to say about that. I just need to get out off the chest real quick. I'm just tired of Jerry saying that he wants to win another one, but he doesn't make the moves to back that up. So, Cowboys Nation, it is what it is. That's what we're dealing with, and we'll continue to deal with this until Jerry wakes up and realizes that he needs to hop on board and do what these other championship teams are doing. Like the Kansas City Chiefs, they went back and got McCole Hardman back. Could you argue that they needed him? Probably not. They were doing fine without him, but they figured, hey, let's make our team even better. Let's go get a guy that's not being used in New York and bring him back here. We got a role for him. This is an area that he's familiar with, an offense that he's familiar with, quarterback he's familiar with, head coach he's familiar with. Let's bring him back into the fold and use him as a weapon. So, all the top teams are out here trying to get guys as if they are, one of the one of the worst teams in the league is trying to improve and compete. These are the best teams that's trying to get themselves together and make a push through the end of the season here, or through the second half of the season to the end of the season, and trying to get into the playoffs and assemble their team so that they can compete for a championship. So Dallas will be in the conversation, of course, because of who they are. And yes, they do have a team right now that is pretty talented, but I feel like they could be even better. And there are players out there that they can go and get to, just like the Eagles do, just like the 49ers do, just like the Chiefs do every year. There are teams there are teams they can go out and contact. There are players they can go get that will put them in the conversation of, okay, legit championship contender. They have it at this position, that position, that position. Like there are no weaknesses. Like I don't see any weaknesses on the Eagles right now. I don't see any weaknesses on the 49ers when fully healthy. I don't see any weaknesses with Kansas City when fully healthy. So unless Dallas, they can be fully healthy, but they got weaknesses in certain positions that need to be addressed. And they probably won't get addressed because Jerry wants to go with what he has. So just be prepared to be upset, Cowboys fans.
So we can't say that the
It's
49ers
inevitable.
deep. We can't say that the 49ers defense shouldn't have been able to stop these teams they played in these last two games. The way they stopped y'all.
They should have.
Anybody hurt on that defense?
Yep. No, you're right. They should have.
So
I
we
don't
can't get a
know. I don't
49ers a
know.
cop out. Are they like Miami? Who have they beat? Who
See,
did
that's
they
the
beat?
argument people like to use for the Cowboys when you have four. Like, who did the Cowboys beat? Well, the Dolphins ain't beat nobody. 49ers
49ers
ain't
ain't
beat
really
nobody.
beat nobody.
But we don't hear that conversation about those teams. It's all
Eagles
about
ain't
the
played
teams that
nobody.
Dallas played. Eagles ain't
Eagles
played
ain't played
nobody
nobody.
either.
The Lions played the
They played the
Ravens,
Chiefs
and the
opening
Ravens blew
night.
them out. And they beat the Chiefs over the night, and the
But they
Ravens
did beat
destroyed
the
them.
Chiefs. They beat the Chiefs without Chris Jones, without Travis Kelsey. So, might put an asterisk next to that one.
No, I ain't trying to hear that. When you come on that field, you step on that court, you expect to win.
That's true.
So what we saying? So once Travis Kelsey retires, Patrick Mahomes is going to become Brock Purdy.
He did struggle in that game without him.
So why is it to say that a team that's been hurt and is getting their players back and getting in their groove and getting in their stride can't make a season comeback in a weak division?
I wouldn't say the NFC South is a weak division. You got three teams that are right on top of each other right now.
Who have they beat?
No, I mean, no matter who they beat, but I'm
Who
just
have they
saying, like,
played?
they're all within the game of each other, except for the Panthers.
We a couple games back.
A couple?
We a couple games back, babe. 3 games, bro. 3 games. I'm telling you, 3 weeks is such a long, bro. Trigger. 3
I
weeks is a
think
long time.
y'all would have to win out. Like, y'all can't lose any more games if y'all want to make the
We
playoffs.
just need 9. We just need 9. We just need 9.
So 9-8. Gotta get
Yes,
y'all in.
that's gonna get us in the playoffs. That will get us in the playoffs. 9-8.
Okay.
9 wins did it last year, and that was with Tom Brady in the division. But last year, this team before the bye week traded Christian McCaffrey away. Only had 1 win. Oh, they could do it. We only had 3 wins. No, I think we only had 1 win actually. They ain't gonna do nothing. Oh, they traded their best player away. Oh, they traded Chosen Anderson away. Oh, yeah, they're tanking. They're tanking. They're tanking. Went on a run. They got healthy and went on a run. And was one J.C. Horn injury away from not going to the playoffs to face the Dallas Cowboys. Actually, the Dallas Cowboys would have had to come to Charlotte for that playoff game
Mm-hmm.
with Steve Wilkes, Sam Darnold, and Deontay Foreman, who I looked like a beast last week, and I'm kind of mad Carolina let that man walk out the door.
Yeah, he is definitely. I mean, 2 touchdowns, and
Three
he had
touchdowns,
a big had 3 touchdowns.
two
Had
on
a
the
big
ground,
day.
one quarter. And he
Had
ran
a
through some
very
men. He ran through some men that day too.
Yeah, it must be
Pause that.
nice. I like to see my running backs do that.
But to say that this Carolina Panthers team can't go on a run, Trey, I can't. I can't allow that blasphemy, my brother. My brother.
Not,
My
I
brother.
can't see them stringing together 3 or 4 games in a row. But I'm not
You
saying
didn't
that they're going to go winless. Oh my gosh! Wow.
did you see the New England Patriots going up on the Buffalo Bills 28-0, 28-1, 21-0? With the way
Mm-hmm.
they've been playing, the way they've been talking about Matt Jones?
Mm-hmm.
Did you expect that?
No,
Did you expect
absolutely not.
Dak Prescott to come in and lead a Cowboys team with a rookie running back, rookie quarterback, 13-3? Did you expect that?
No.
You gotta expect the unexpected, my brother. And Carolina is poised to go on a run. And I want you to know you heard it here first. Carolina
Okay,
Panthers.
we'll see in a few weeks how it turns out. These next 3 games. If y'all go 3-0, you'll make a believer out of me.
If we go 3-0 and then we beat y'all, I want you to put some respect on my name.
I will, because guess what? Last year, yeah, the Packers were terrible, and Dallas was
They was
up
like
28.
1-6. They was like one and
Yeah,
six. Only one.
Dallas was up 28-14 on them going into the fourth quarter, and we lost that game. And that game turned the season around for the Green Bay Packers. And they
Mm-hmm.
almost came this close to making the playoffs, so Detroit beat them in the season finale and knocked them out. So they win that game against Detroit, they would have got in. And I went back and said, hey, if the Green Bay Packers made the playoffs, it was because the Dallas Cowboys. That was the game that turned the season around for them. That was the game that did it for them. So y'all could potentially be in the same position. Now, I realize the Green Bay Packers were in a little bit better position than y'all record wise when it came to that game, right? Because I think that game, you felt as a Packers fan, you were at the point where if you lose that game to Dallas, now we're having a whole different conversation about, okay, well, now maybe we pack it in, you know, we can't win the division, probably not gonna make the playoffs. It changes the whole mentality of the team, right?
Yep.
They go into the fourth quarter, they're down 2 scores, and Dallas is playing lights out. And this is in Green Bay at Lambeau. But you turn that game around, you win in front of your home crowd, feels like the biggest win of the season, and that's all the momentum that you need to ride that into the rest of the season. And like I said, they nearly made it, nearly ran the table, nearly made it into the postseason if they didn't run into a pretty hungry, stout Detroit Lions team that was trending in the right direction in the last 5 or 6 games of the year. And obviously, we've seen how that's translated over for them this season. They're one of the top teams in the entire NFC, maybe even in the NFL with the Detroit Lions. But that's besides the point. My point is teams tend to come out against the Dallas Cowboys They tend to put on their best efforts, and no matter where we are in the game or what point we're at, no lead that Dallas has is safe. Dallas has to play their best for whatever reason. A lot of teams in Carolina's position, Dallas comes to town. Oh, let's make our names against them. Ain't nobody expecting us to beat them anyway. Just like nobody was expecting Green Bay to win that game going down 28-14, into the fourth quarter.
Speak.
So Dallas strolls into Carolina. Carolina's won a couple games going into the Dallas game. Dallas game will be their Super Bowl. It's America's team. They're gonna strap up. They're gonna be ready. Bryce Young is probably gonna play his best game of the season. Everybody else gonna probably play their best game of the season. And Dallas has to be on their A game. If they don't and they lose this game, this could be all that Carolina needs to turn their season around. If they've been winning, if they won a couple games already going into this game. Now if they're like 0-8, 0-9, whatever it is before they play Dallas, I don't think this one win against Dallas would, spark a run. And maybe it could, but it probably would be too late for them to put wins together to make it to the playoffs. They've got to get 2 or 3 wins before that game. And if they win that game, I feel like that would turn like it did for the Green Bay Packers. That would put them on the uptrend. And you're potentially talking about maybe get into the postseason. That happens, especially if the other teams in your division, you beat them. I know I haven't played them,
Come on over to the dark side.
a couple times yet. But I'm just saying, this is what the Cowboys do for teams in this type of position.
Because look at my division now.
This is what they do.
Hey, look at my division now. You said the Saints, they trying to get rid of everybody because the Derek Carr experiment ain't working out. The Falcons, Bijan, he's getting migraines, concussions, all that kind of stuff. He may have to go into the concussion protocol, so they may lose some games. Saints ain't looking good. Baker, we're going to see what they look like tomorrow night against a Bills team who is looking for some get back.
Yeah,
but
that game's going to tell me everything I need to know about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
But what I'm telling you is, if you got Green Bay fighting for a division, Jacksonville fighting for a division, and then Baker Mayfield coming back to Carolina to try to win the NFC South because Carolina and Tampa Bay is neck and neck, and this game decides the winner of the NFC South. The fan in me is hoping for something like that. Realist in me is like, we need to clean up everything. Need to get some weapons. Let's see what Thomas Brown has. Let's take this time. Let's try the offense. Let's work out the kinks. Let's see who we're going to keep. Let's see who we're not going to keep. Not go out there and tank. Go out there and play football. Let all the people you were unsure about go out there and play football. Like we did last year. We just let people go out there and play football because they thought we were tanking. No, if you give some people some hope and you let them go out there and do what they do and you stop making it confusing, you let them go out there and play football, some great shit can happen. What I'm telling you is, I don't think that any of these races are as cut as dry they have been in previous years, because the 49ers, even with the injuries they had, all right, your offense scores points. 22 points should win the game for you. If 22 points should win the game for you, especially against the Vikings, who don't have Justin Jefferson, who don't have a strong running game, who have a rookie wide out. Like, 22 points should win you that game if you beat the Cowboys 42-10 and y'all talking about we them boys and all this kind of stuff and the fuck Dallas shirts and all that kind of stuff. If you are that team, you win this game because Jalen Hurts out here winning. Patrick Mahomes out here winning. It's not pretty, but it's ugly. So the 49ers, if you are one of those teams, you should be out here winning like that. And Philly just got some help for the safety. So Dallas, y'all gotta get together. Y'all get the fuck together. you gotta get
You
it
could
together.
also argue last year the Jacksonville Jaguars when we played them. Jacksonville was another team that was kind of on the edge or whatever.
Y'all got them in the playoffs.
That
Y'all
was
got them a playoff game.
That was another game where the Dallas Cowboys went into the fourth quarter with the lead, and we should have won that game. And we end up going to overtime with them, and we lose to them. And that game arguably turned around their season. Not only did they
Hey,
make the playoffs, they went and won a playoff game off of
you
that
want to
momentum.
you want to hear something
This is
crazy that I
what we
just thought
do.
about?
It's what we do for teams.
You want to hear something crazy I just thought about?
What's
If
that?
if Dak Prescott doesn't play that bad Tampa Bay, oh my God, I can't talk. If Dak Prescott does not play that bad Tampa Bay team in the playoffs, Brock Purdy has more playoff wins than Dak Prescott.
I mean, it's a bunch of quarterbacks that done came in years after Dak and has gotten more playoff victories than him. Joe Burrow's got more playoff victories than him. Jalen Hurts has more playoff victories than him. I mean, you can just name anybody. Me and you have more playoff victories than Dak.
Hey, you see what I got? You see what I got under my name, brother? I told
Semi-amateur athlete.
Miles asked me about it. He said, "Man, what you talking about?" I said, "You remember when we was in that parking lot in Charlotte, and I hit you with that route, brother?" He's like, "Yeah,
Oh
I give you
my
that one."
God.
I was like, "Yeah, Trey, you didn't have, bro. We over 100 assists in these parks around here. Stop playing with me. We over 100
Mm-hmm.
assists.
I
We
got
over
you.
100 assists. We over 100 assists. Stop playing with me. I'm about to come down there and play in the rec league. Get ready.
Uh-oh.
I didn't morph my game. I'm more like a older Derrick Rose mixed with Steph Curry.
Oh my. No, you did not.
Mixed
Are
with
you
Steph Curry.
kidding me? The Miami Heat just gave up a
Oh
19
yeah,
point
I'm
lead,
watching the
bro.
game, bro. I'm watching the game. Clack up, 102 to 103. They lost.
No, it's
Did
a
they
minute
lose?
and 44. It's a minute 44
Okay.
left. Miami's up one right now.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I was about to say. You told me. I thought you said they lost. Yeah, I'm watching. I just watched them hit that
Bruh,
three. They were up
I
70 to
tell you.
what malls
They
at?
were up 94. They were up 94 to 75. Yeah, they were up 94 to 75
And I'm on
with
record
about
talking all
nine
that
minutes.
cash money.
With
I'm on
about
record talking
nine
all that
minutes to
cash
go.
money.
And they're about to give this damn game away. Some things never change with this team, man. Not to close games. I always got to make stuff interesting.
Coach, Coach Trigger, Coach Trigger.
There is no way 19-point lead. No way with a 19-point lead you let this team come back.
This young team. They just talking
We
about how
got
young this team
veterans.
was.
Who is
How young
young?
this
Kevin
team is.
Love, Jimmy Butler, Kyle Lowry.
Cade Cunningham, 21 years old.
You talking about the Pistons? Well, yeah, they are young. McKay
Eh,
Cunningham has been killing us all night.
Is it
Look
the
at
old
13 for
legs?
26. 50% from the field. 4 for 8 from three-point range, 50% shooting.
Hey,
9 assists, 30 points, 3 rebounds. Absolute stud. All their starters in double figures except for one.
you know what I'm looking forward to? The NBA is starting to switch to the younger generation. I don't think it's gonna be as many superstars. I think it's gonna be a lot more teams winning, like how Golden State and it's been. But I think it's gonna be more teams winning, like the Celtics, the uh the Kings, those teams like that. How did Wemby do? I saw him went a little crazy earlier.
I'm watching now. I haven't seen anything yet.
I think he had a dunk, but he too tall for his dunk to look. It looked awkward. He got to figure out how to get that dunk down.
Lord, the Pistons have the ball with 2.5 seconds left. Golly, this is nerve wracking. I can't believe this.
You said 2.5 seconds left. I got a minute and 12. How I get that far? Oh, they just started. I thought
ESPN.
that. Oh, that game just started. I thought they was talking. Man, he ain't do nothing yet. You right. They were showing me highlights. They guess it's been preseason. Yeah, I got a minute and 10 left. I don't know how you got that far ahead of me.
The ESPN app, I'm following it on here right now.
Oh yeah, you say ESPN app, but I'm watching it live. Don't or delayed live.
All right, I won't spoil nothing for you.
Tyler Hero, you do too much. You do too much
Man shot 24 shot attempts.
and made three.
Good grief.
Quack. Out of bounds
Wow.
on Bam.
Jokers was up 94-75.
They probably did the Heat
That's
let off, or did the Pistons come back? That's gonna be your
I
article
don't
you
I
write
don't
tomorrow.
I don't know. I didn't see. I was following. Had a little 13-point lead that they was clinging on to, and then Miami ran it up to 19. And I'm like, all right, there's 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter. They're up 19. All right, maybe I can stop watching. But no, they had to make things interesting as usual.
Oh, in and out. Dang, K Love. Kevin Love missed that 3-point. That was in and out, brother. That joint hurt.
Mm.
I gotta get to Win Beyond the next once this game's over. Did the Heat win?
No, it's still
It's still
they're in
2.5.
timeout.
Oh, I'm still in there. Okay.
The Detroit called timeout, trying to drop the last play so he can try to get a bucket.
So I did catch up. Is that Oladipo? Is Victor Oladipo in Detroit?
I think so. So Detroit outscored Miami in three of the four quarters. But the one quarter we outscored them 32-18. Pretty huge gap. The other ones are pretty close. Outscored us by 3 in the first, outscored us by 3 in the third, and about 7 in the fourth quarter. But the second quarter is where Miami won it.
Oh, damn, me and Trigger. Sorry, y'all. Me and Trigger sitting over here looking at the games and stuff. Sorry, but yeah, Trigger. All right.
But man, we need to get bigger, man. Yeah,
Why you
out
say that?
rebounded 56-48. Miami got out rebounded. Man, I'm telling you. That's why we lost the finals to the Denver Nuggets, man. It's not big enough.
Hey, the
Out
Nuggets
rebounded
look.
every game.
The Nuggets look
They
good
look
last
really
night, brother.
good. Look really good
Look
last
good.
night.
KCP was trying to settle something,
Yeah, I think all their
but I don't
starters
know.
scored in double figures, and then Jokic, I mean, just triple double right out the gate. 29,
LeBron
13, and 11.
looked good too. I don't know. Anthony
Yep.
Davis still Anthony Davis. Game.
Anthony Davis, he makes me so. I don't know what it is with him. I really don't. I
Cardiac
feel like
heat.
so, so talented, man, and he just. I don't know what's. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know what's going through his head or like what because he came out in the first half. All right, yeah, that's Anthony Davis right there that we know and love. And then the second half, he just gave us nothing. Like literally nothing. Didn't score. No points in the second half.
The Lakers play tonight.
No, I believe they play tomorrow night against Phoenix.
Okay, because they had it on here. I was about to say. All right, yeah. But I got a question for you. When we gonna start giving Anthony Davis that Ben Simmons energy?
I tell you what, I think the difference between AD and Ben Simmons is Ben Simmons has shown on numerous occasions that he just does not care. where he seems just like he's just not into it. He's very entitled. I get that vibe from him, and I've been had that vibe about him based off what I've seen, what's been reported on him, even back to his college days, watching him play at LSU. Like that man didn't want to be there, and it carried over to the NBA. So I think the difference between Ben Simmons and AD is Ben Simmons, yes, he's talented, but he doesn't have the work ethic. I don't think he doesn't have the want to for whatever reason. It's just what I pick up from him, and I think that equates to the success or lack of success that he's had in the situations that he's been in terms of the teams that he's been playing for. Anthony Davis, on the other hand, I don't get that Anthony Davis doesn't care. I think he does care. I think he plays hard. I'm just trying to figure out because there seems to be a disconnect somewhere. And I don't know if that's, him playing with LeBron because when Anthony Davis was in New Orleans, when he was the man there, I mean, we got greatness on a nightly basis. You know how some guys, they step up, play with LeBron, the game tends to suffer or take a back seat a little bit because, it's LeBron James. Like a lot of guys have come out and said that over the years that, they go play with LeBron and obviously you can see with your own eyes, how their stats just kind of plummet a little bit and how they kind of have to come off the ball a little bit more because LeBron is the guy, he's the engine, he's going to make everything go. Like, if you just look at Joel Embiid and James Harden, like James Harden averaged his lowest points per game in his entire career last season. Why? Because he's playing with a guy who's averaging 30 who needs the ball every possession. He's taking the ball out of his hands. Now, when James Harden was in Houston, this man was averaging 30 points every year, led the NBA in scoring, winning scoring titles and, no, just unguardable. I think he averaged like 35 or 36 points a game one season. Like just ridiculous, right? And he goes to Philly and he's nowhere near those numbers. Because when he was in Houston, he was the number one scoring option. He was the one, he was the engine that made everything go. But when he went to play with Embiid, Embiid was the man in Philly. It still is a man in Philly. He needs the ball every possession, run everything through him. So as a result, James Harden's game is taking the back seat. The points per game have come way down from, his days in Houston. I don't think Harden has lost a step or has lost, um, some of his scoring prowess, but like I just think it's a product of who he's playing with rather than him in age and all the other stuff. Like, no, I think he can still go out and put up 30 when he wants to. Like we saw him do it in the playoffs against the Celtics. He had two 40-point games, or he had two high scoring games that kept them in that series. When Embiid was struggling, so he can do it. He's still capable. And I think whether he comes in and he plays with Philly, or if he does get his wish and he gets traded to the Clippers, um, again, I think when he goes to the Clippers, he's going to be playing with Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. I would think. I don't think they're going to come off any one of those guys if they did a trade. But again, he's going to go there. He's probably going to average like 20 a game because Kawhi Leonard and Paul George are going to be the guys that will have the ball to score, and Harden's going to kind of be there, fill in, um, and we'll see how that goes. But I think a lot of AD struggles come because he's playing with LeBron. Even though LeBron has supposedly given him the green light, he supposedly, hey, this is your team. I'm just here, like you're the guy, you take or whatever. Maybe it's messing with his head or something. I don't know, but it seems to me, since he's been in LA, teamed up with LeBron, that the inconsistencies I think are a result of him playing with a superstar the caliber of a LeBron James.
Can I
And
step
he's
in right
fallen
there and
victim.
ask you something?
Just one second, I just want to finish this thought real quick. I think he's fallen victim to where everybody else goes through when they play with LeBron, and your personal stats, acting, all this stuff just kind of comes down a little bit.
Now, with you saying that, is it more of Anthony Davis ain't really of a start and start player, like a start and stop player? He's more of once he gets it going, he needs to keep it going and keep feeding them. And I was looking at the game. I was in and out last night, and it seems like sometimes like Braun will just go into Braun mode where he's playing defense aggressively, looking for outlet passes, looking for all right, I'm gonna go take it, I'm gonna go do all this kind of stuff. Is it something to where they need to start and go to AD early and get him like 10 to 12 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, and then let LeBron just go be the closer. Like let the young guys go get out there, get the lead, and then we just need you to go close. We need you to be that Jordan. We need you to be that Kobe because for me right now, it's kind of I'm not saying LeBron's not a closer. I'm not saying that at all. But LeBron, you gotta close these games. Like I don't want to hear AD. He scored 0 points in the half, and that's something else we got to be said. But even
Yeah,
my semi-amateur athlete self, and I know you the same way. I'm not playing no game and getting 0 points in the half, brother. If I'm that level, I'm doing something. I'm not hell no. No, ain't no way. Ain't no way. There's no way.
yeah.
I'm
Even if the shot's not falling, you can still
yeah.
he's still pretty good at getting to the free throw line. He's good at drawing fouls, and he's obviously a good free throw shooter as well. So there's ways if you're a scorer to get yourself going.
Because I think even looking at it, if you slow Denver down, they can't get those. A lot of that stuff was in transition, them stopping hitting threes and getting to Jokic in transition. I feel like LA, if you slow the ball down and you make Jokic play defense on Anthony Davis, you make Aaron Gordon play defense on LeBron. Like you make these boys actually have to sit there and guard the rim and can't run and do all that fun high flying stuff like they want to do. I think you can beat them. And I think me looking at the game, I see like the NBA is going towards the younger guys. It's looking more like the AAU running gun, like score, score, score. But once we get to the playoffs, who is it always going to be? The reliable, I'm not gonna say reliable, but the wear you down big teams. Like Giannis gonna wear you down.
That's what happened to Miami in the finals.
Yep. Jokic even though Denver they can slow it down, and once they get it good, I mean Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, Jokic, Reggie Jackson looking like a good pickup. KCP
Yep.
is doing his thing. Jamal Murray is. I just want to see does Denver live and die by the three. Can you Aaron Gordon still be Aaron Gordon? Can Michael Porter still be Michael Porter? Can all these guys still be this if their 3 point shot ain't falling and they got to actually go out and create offense? And then Torian Prince for the Lakers, I think they got him. They got them somebody that can shoot that three when they need it to. I think,
Yeah,
and
I
once
think.
Roy settle in, I think maybe put Roy in the game a little
Yeah.
bit more. But go ahead, my bad.
No, I'm saying I like the Lakers roster. And to go back to your question about, with LeBron and AD,
Yep.
getting AD involved earlier, absolutely they need to, especially for a guy who's playing, if it is his confidence or if he's, somewhat having a drop off because he's playing with LeBron, you know, definitely feed his confidence, go to him early, get him going so that way it sets the tone for the rest of the game. And that way, like you said, down the stretch, um, especially if they're going to be playing LeBron, you know, on a minutes restriction or whatever it is, because they,
Right.
they talked about it after the game. If you're playing LeBron only 30 minutes, you know, AD's got to
Everything we
be the
said
guy.
is the thing. Maybe that's why they're doing it, and maybe that's why they're saying it without saying it. Hey, LeBron, LeBron, he 36, he 38, he 30. He got it. We're gonna give him a minutes restriction, but that really means, hey, LeBron, come in and close, come in and get us up, and then AD, you just go to work and finish games or get us big leads, and then LeBron just come in and maintain it and run the offense and guide the young guys around and all that kind of stuff. Or you feel it's something else? You feel like it's just something that's needed?
No, like I said, I just think they need to come in and get AD involved early, get him going, get him a couple shots, get his feet wet, get to the free throw line a couple times, get the rhythm going, and then hopefully that'll sustain throughout the course of the game. And then, like you said, if they get into a tight one down the stretch, now you bring LeBron in, to do his thing. He's fresh, he's not playing as many minutes. He can pick up the slack where AD is falling off if he gets tired or if he gets in the jam or gets in a slump to where he can't hit anything, can't get anything going. LeBron is there to kind of help offset that. I don't think the answer is running LeBron into the ground and having him play, 40 minutes a night at his age, as many years as he's been in the league. He's just not at that point in his career anymore. I don't think it's wise to do that to him anymore, which is why they lean on AD so much, and while LeBron has told him, hey, this is your team, like you can go out and do your thing. I'm gonna support you. He has no problem passing the reins or giving the reins to AD because he realizes that, hey, if I want to play this game any longer, if I want to be here a couple more seasons, I can't be putting all this wear and tear on my body, at my age, and pretty much run myself into the ground and run myself out of the league. Start getting hurt. The injuries start piling up, and now we're talking. Now I'm headed out of here a lot sooner than what I would like. I know he's still trying to play with his son, which will probably happen if his son does or is able to play. He goes through college, gets drafted. We're probably a year or two away from that happening, and I know he would like to be around for that. So, running him 40 minutes a night for 82 games this year is not going to be helpful for him to be around and see that goal. So, yes,
Yeah.
AD 100% needs to get involved early. They need to find a way to keep him in a rhythm. And then, like you say, LeBron come in late if they need him to and close. And not to say that LeBron needs to be playing like as a role player or you bringing him off the bench or
No,
anything.
no,
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 he
no.
he's still starting the game. He can,
Starting the game.
LeBron's still a great passer, great rebounder. He can still set AD up, in positions to where he can get the ball and be successful. You're gonna have him out there be a facilitator, help AD get going, take the ball out of his hands so it doesn't have to work as hard. And they're kind of helping each other out when they do that. LeBron's not counting on to have to go and score every possession, and then AD is not having to have the pressure of getting the ball and creating for himself. LeBron can come out and be, the creator for him, and all he has to do is just go and take advantage of the positions that LeBron's able to put him in, so that he can go and get easy baskets or draw fouls and get to the free throw line and slow himself down. That way you can preserve both of those guys, and then come down the stretch when you need them, they can go all out, and they'll be even tougher to guard.
That's why I say I think that's why they did the 30 minutes. I think is all that. Darvin Ham's a smart coach. The Lakers are good organized. LeBron, everybody knows. Torian Prince did good. Roy did good. I can come in and play 30 minutes. First 7 minutes, play the last 7 minutes of the second half. Depending on the third, we'll figure it out. And then the fourth will be determined off what happened in the third and fourth. Like, we get that. Like you said, longevity, play with his son. He's up. And to go in the ladies' rate question, it just depends on what kind of old you are. Are you like Michael Jordan with the bullets? Or are you like how LeBron's playing now? That's a tough question to say. Because some people get better with age, some people just get, yeah, brother, you need to just go ahead and hang it up. But that also
Yeah.
leads me into a question I want to ask you, Trigger, to get your answer to her question. And do you think the NBA sabotaged the Big Three? Because I think I saw something today. I think the Big Three would be a great transition league for a lot of these vets too, and players who don't really make it and all that kind of stuff. It could be like the XFL, USFL for the NBA. So let me get your thoughts on that, and then your answer to Amber Ray's question: how old is too old in the NBA?
Well, the first question to address about the big three. Um, Honestly, I don't have much knowledge on what the ins and outs. I know Ice Cube had an issue with the NBA. I don't know to what extent or what exactly happened, but I do think it's a great segue for guys who play, who want something to do after retirement, who still love the game, who still want to compete. It's great for them to go and do that and kind of have something to play for, and have something to do. So in that aspect, I think is great for that. Plus, you stay around the league, you stay close to the guys you competed with. You stay involved with the game of basketball. So for it being around for that reason, I think is awesome. I don't know why or see why there would be an issue with the NBA. Like I said, I have to do more research on it and kind of, give you a better answer. But from the way I see it right now, from the outside looking in, um, I think it should be something that should be around and it should be, something official, and that these guys have something to do when they hang it up. A lot of guys don't want to come and be commentators. That seems like the thing to do when a player retires from the NBA. They start to be an analyst, or they get their own podcast, or whatever, and it still keeps them close to the game. Some guys, they still like to play, like they like to compete. They don't want to necessarily talk. So, hey, there's the big three. That's an option. Um, so yeah, so I think it's a great thing for basketball um, in general, and I hope it stays around. As far as Amber's question on how old is too old in the NBA, in my opinion, um, I would say 35 and up would probably be old in NBA years. A lot of guys tend to hit their hit the proverbial slope. They start to trend in the opposite direction. If they've been going uphill and they've been, just they finally peak and they hit their prime for about 3, 4 years, 5 years, depending on how good they are and how healthy they are. And then right around age 35 or age 36, if they are fortunate to play that long, you start to see the decline. Except for you hear LeBron James. It seems like he's been the same player his whole career. No matter, I forget he's in his late 30s. This man's almost 40 years old. And he went out and did what he did last night, like, with ease. But that is a man who takes care of his body. He spends millions of dollars each year taking care of his body. And there's a couple guys in sports that do. I know Russell Wilson's another one who invests an insane amount of money into taking care of himself. And there's probably a bunch of other guys that do. But the ones who tend to get injured and hurt a lot, um, they tend to have shorter careers. And they don't make the 35, and age 30 would be old for those type of guys. And we had a lot of guys in the league, you know, their careers got cut short due to the fact that they couldn't stay healthy, always injured, and they probably retired at 30, 31, 32. But for a guy who's fairly healthy, I would say around the age 35 would probably be when you start to see a decline. If like I said, fully healthy. If
And
they've already been hurt and they've been battling injuries throughout, it never tends to get better with time. It always uh, tends to get worse. And we tend to see the pattern of guys, careers getting cut maybe a couple years shorter than what they would like.
well, to go to the Ice Cube thing, brother, because you're 100% right. Unless you're Derrick Rose, who seemed to be sound like he getting back a little bit. He ain't still bouncy, but he just had genuine skill, I guess. A lot of guys, you got good skill, like the Chris Pauls, the Bronze. Like, if you got skill, you can play for that long too. Because I mean, Chris Paul, he has his injuries, but a lot of times with the older guys, sometimes it's all right. We know you can get hurt. When are you gonna get hurt? And for Chris
Hmm.
Paul, it always seems at the worst time possible to get hurt.
In the
No,
playoffs when they
but I
need them
like Chris
most.
Paul with Golden State because I saw him last night, and I think I mean, Katie and that book, they just gonna score them points. Um, Nurkic looks good with him. Nurkic, he knows when to go score. He knows when to go score.
It's a
Um,
huge, huge addition for them.
and I like I think Golden State when they figure it out with Chris Paul and and how he fits, I think they got it together. I think it's gonna be they got to figure out their closing sequence. I think because if you got Chris and Steph on the court at the same time now, yeah, I'm probably gonna kill you. I'm yeah,
Yeah, they put that lineup against the Denver Nuggets, and they're going to get absolutely
yeah.
crushed. Yeah, but I see Amber asking, does it hurt the team when they play past that age? It depends,
Depends.
and I can bring up a couple of situations. For LeBron, for instance, he's obviously past 35. However, he's in great shape. He led the team in scoring last night. Put up his typical LeBron-esque numbers. Um,
Hold it
so
down,
in
Trigger. I'll
that
be right back.
case, huh?
I said hold it down. I'll be right back.
All right. So in that case, he's not really hurting the team. Then you had a situation like Udonis Haslam with the Miami Heat. Um, I mean, the guy hasn't really played in the last 5 or 6 years, consistently, but yet he's really, he had a spot on the bench, like he had a spot on the roster, and they were bringing him in kind of like as an enforcer, but he's nowhere near LeBron as far as like being in shape. Like he's 40, I think he actually retired when he was 40, which was this past season. Um, but he probably would have, probably wouldn't have hurt us had he left a few years sooner, open up that roster spot so we could go get somebody that could actually come in and contribute. So in that sense, yes, that hurt the team. However, I know the reason why they kept him was because of his mentorship. He's been through um, the ringer. He's won championships. He's got a lot of knowledge. He just embodies that entire culture and what they're about, and passing that knowledge on to the guys coming up behind him in that same culture is valuable to them. It's valuable for anybody. Anytime a professional sports team can go out and get a veteran player, somebody who's been through it, and can kind of come in and mentor the younger guys, and they're a player. It's different when that leadership, that knowledge, that mentorship comes from a guy who is in the trenches with you versus, a coach, somebody on the staff, somebody who's not actually out there on the court playing with you. So I get why they brought him in to um, kind of mentor these guys and be right there with them. He didn't really contribute much on the court when he was out there. He was kind of just out there, not really doing a whole lot. But during practice, in the locker room, the speeches and the timeouts and stuff and the huddles, that's where he was valuable to that Miami Heat team. So yes, you got some guys that play past the age of 35 that probably shouldn't be out there, but at that point in their career, if they're a veteran, if they're somebody that's been through it, they're pretty much just bringing leadership and other qualities to the team that are valuable, um, or more valuable than them actually getting out on the court and playing. But it's when they get out on the court and they do play. If they're not LeBron James, more than likely they would be hurting the team if they're not, putting up the numbers or doing what they need to be doing. So these guys bring in these dudes, for leadership, mentorship, and all that. Um, but yeah, it would only hurt the team if they go out and they don't do much.
I didn't hear you. I know, but I know you probably mentioned Udonis Haslam. Like they a lot of them guys go and like disappear on the bench sometimes too. Like they there, like you said, for the mentorship, and
Yeah,
if they want to come in and have like a farewell, like Udonis's farewell was like, man, I could play, but I can't do 82. I think that Udonis Haslam would be good in the big three. I feel like he could really go and show what.
yeah. I mean, and I know as far as I know, he's still in shape, but he's not a guy, and he's never been a guy that dropped, 20, 30 points a game when he was in his prime. Like he was a role player. Like he was in the starting lineup, in those early
He was
years
our
when
Draymond. He was our
Miami won.
Draymond.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. He was like the Draymond Green figure the Miami Heat had. And I think Draymond Green, but a little bit better shooter. He did everything
Yep.
Draymond did.
Hmm.
But he had, he filled that role. He won the championships, and I think the Miami Heat kept him around not because they could use him on the court, but because he gave great advice. He was somebody that was hardened, that been through everything that they're trying to bring these group of guys through. And who better than to have somebody like him there to kind of guide them, show them the way, give them the blueprint and push them through.
Like he's like Eric Spoelstra's Matthew Slater, Bill Belichick's Matthew Slater, like that. That
Yeah,
vet that you have.
and that's exactly what I was saying, Amber. A lot of these coaches bring in these veteran guys, not because they're trying to get more minutes out of them on the floor. It's for these younger guys. It's to mentor them, to give them, the path, the keys, give them the tools that they need to be successful. And you do see a bunch of the younger guys say, hey, you can go to the Miami Heat players. They'll tell you nothing but good things about Udonis Haslam. Like, yes, the guy hasn't played, a full 82 game season, even though he's had a spot on the bench all this time. He hasn't played in over half the games. But the guys on that team will tell you that every day in practice, every day in warm ups, in the huddles, in the meetings, the film sessions, whatever they do behind the scenes, He's always in their ear. He's always giving them advice. He's always finding ways to make them better. And they credit him for some of the things that they've been able to do and accomplish in the league. And it's not just Udonis has in the Miami Heat. You got a bunch of teams that have that guy, that veteran guy on their squad that does the same stuff. And they always give credit to their elders. So yes, you do see that a lot in the league. When players give their props to their veteran leaders. Because like I said, they're right there on the floor with them. They're the coach on the floor. They're that coach on the floor during practice. Teammates respond differently, and I know this from experience. The guys on the team respond differently to other teammates, older teammates who've been through it than they do the coaching staff. Even though that teammate, that veteran teammate is telling you the same thing that the coaches are telling you, you tend to respond better to the guy who's right there with you. And like I said, I understand why a lot of these teams, in football, basketball, they go out and they sign these veteran guys. Like the Philadelphia Eagles, for instance, we'll go to football for a second. The Philadelphia Eagles bring in Julio Jones. You think Julio Jones about to be out there for 90% of those possessions? Taking up snaps from A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert and all those other receivers they got on that team? Heck no. They brought Julio Jones in because he's a leader. He's a mentor. He's a guy that's played in the Super Bowl. He knows what it's like to be in that position. So he's coming in to bring value to their wide receiver room. And of course, yes, they're going to use him, but they're not going to play him like they play A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith.
Situational football.
It'll be situational, right? It's the same way the NBA guys do with these veteran guys who were once killers, and now they're past that part of their career. So they bring them in, they bring them off the bench, or they don't play at all, and they're kind of just there in a veteran role, just giving advice and bringing up the next generation of talent behind them. We see it
Or
all the time across every sport.
like a Pat Beverly who brings that dog, that defense and that dog and that grit that you sometimes need in the locker room.
Yep, you got, a lot of guys are role players, but when we talk about role players in sport, we talk about guys who do certain things out on the field or out on the court. You know, they do that really well. We don't really talk about the stuff they do that has nothing to do with dribbling or shooting a basketball. It has nothing to do with throwing or catching a football. We don't talk about, the intangibles. And that stuff is just as important, if not more important, than putting the ball in the hoop or putting, a touchdown on the board.
Like a Eric Gordon, who I think is in a beautiful situation with Phoenix because they go out there and get a big score. He gonna come out there and give you just consistency.
Hmm.
So Phoenix looked pretty good last night, brother. I ain't gonna lie. Grayson Allen looked lost a little bit, but Phoenix looked good. How do they balance that with the coach? No, it's not. I mean, it's just like your parents, and for me, it's like for the military. It's just like your parents telling you something, and then your older brother or your sibling or somebody else telling you something. It's just they just have a way to get to you in different ways. Sometimes, like they'll get on you, they get on you because they in it with you. Like you sitting here going through the same thing I'm going through, it. You sitting here going through it with me. Like you can come to me from the angle to where I get it and I understand it because they have the respect from like you played the game too. Because sometimes coaches haven't played the game, and sometimes
Hmm.
they have. For I feel, and it's just a different way. It's just a different way. They come in from a different angle. They come to him as an OG, like yo, that's my OG coming to me, talking to me, explaining it and breaking it down to me. And sometimes it's a barrier between like a coach and a player too, because sometimes coaches can't really give it to you, kind of how you need it. And Trigger, you
Yeah,
would know more about that than me.
it's like for example, like it's like when you tell your significant other something over and over again, they don't listen to you, but yet somebody else, a complete stranger, somebody else can say something to them.
Facts,
The very first
facts.
time, and it's like, oh, I see what you're saying. It's like, well, I've been trying to tell you this. That's how that relationship kind of is between a player and a veteran, versus a player with the head coach. And I'm not saying that the two are pitted against each other. A lot of times, and again, I
It's a
use myself
rapport you
as
got.
an example. Yeah, I use myself as an example. A lot of teams, a lot of coaches, they want their guys their senior guys, their veteran guys, to be the leaders. They want them to be the ones to get on the players, to keep the team in line. The coach doesn't want to have to do that stuff. All the championship teams, all the good teams out there, you got a group of guys on the team who actively play, who are the leaders, and they regurgitate everything that the coach says and does, and the players obviously receive it better from the other players because they're right there in it with them. So in a bunch of situations, that we see, the uh, the players and the coaches are obviously all on the same page. But again, it's just received better. It doesn't really overlap, but it's like the coach has a message. He says something. He wants, some things done a certain way. He sets a certain precedent. He wants the culture to be a certain way, and then his senior players, his veteran players, it's up to them to carry it out and enforce it. So it's like
Yeah,
it's not really a battle between veteran player and coach, and then you got the young guy trying to figure out, who am I, listening to? The veteran player literally is an extension of the
of the
coach.
coach. Yep. It's what we call in the military small unit leadership. Like, because
Right.
sometimes the coach or the officer tell you something like, we need to get from point A to point B. I need you to break it down to them how to get to point A to point B the way they can hear it, or he'll say it and we'll go through it, and then you'll kind of see attitudes and like it's like Trey said, it's an extension of the coach. Like it's the right hand to the coach, depending on the veteran player. Because some veteran players are just still there to get paid, but
Yeah.
it just depends on what kind of veteran player you got. Like some veteran players just know I don't have any ego. I know I used to be that person. I'm just gonna sit here and come off the bench and give you 8 to 10 points and give you 15 solid minutes. Or like it really all depends. Like it's just you gotta have
DeAndre,
it's ego.
yeah, DeAndre Jordan with the Denver
Mhm.
Nuggets. This was a guy who was a starting center for the LA Clippers, and then with Blake Griffin and Chris Paul and that whole crew. And how remember how deadly that team was,
Yep.
that group was, that big three. And now obviously DeAndre Jordan past his prime, right? He's
Yep.
playing with the Denver Nuggets. He's finally won a championship, but he did it as a bench player, not like when he was a starter when he was at the Clippers. But I guarantee you, Nikola Jokic, Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr. can sit in front of the camera and tell you that, hey, DeAndre Jordan came in here. We realized what kind of player he was. He's no longer that guy, but he's come in. He doesn't play heavy minutes like he did when he was with the Clippers, but he's come in. He's given us quality minutes and a bunch of advice and things because this man has been, on playoff runs. He's been to Western Conference Finals. And these guys, they could probably tell you, these guys come in. He's been a leader on the team. Jeff Green, another a veteran that played with the Nuggets last year, came in and gave them very, very quality minutes during the playoffs and in the finals. Again, he's another guy who played heavy minutes, but again, he comes to a team. He's past his prime. He takes that veteran role. Him and DeAndre Jordan, two of those guys in the locker room. I guarantee you, you know, the guys who play heavy minutes can go to you and say, you know, they helped me.
Yeah. It's no it ain't no control thing. Like, don't
No,
nobody
no,
care
it's not a
about control.
control
Like, it
thing.
ain't nobody worried about that. Like, cause you control what
It's
you can
not a
control.
control
It's
thing.
really control what you can control, and everything will work out. Like, if you go out there and do everything that you're supposed to do, I'm not saying everything will work out, but you go out there and do what you're supposed to do, and you know you did everything you could to 100% of your ability. Whatever happens is what happens. Like, controlling what we can control. Like, it ain't no dictatorship or anything like that. Ain't nobody. It's levels to it. It's respect.
So
It's just like I think it's just
yeah,
a respect thing.
it's a respect thing. Like it's always understood that the coaches,
Yeah,
like
that's
they know
coach.
their role. The players know their
Right.
role. They uh they run the team, right? They're the ones that come up to plays. They construct the practices, the film sessions. They everything starts with the coaching staff, and then it kind of trickles down from there. You have leadership within the coaching staff. You got head coach, you got assistant coaches.
Yep.
You got leadership within the team. You got veteran guys who've been there, who've kind of assumed that role or have been awarded that role by the coach, and you got the
Yep.
guys up under them that are being mentored. So it's almost like it's a chain of command, it's a pecking order, if you will.
Chain of command,
Like
exactly. There it
there's
is.
there's there's no button heads. Like sure there's arguments, uh, if a coach calls you out on something and you feel like it was wrong or whatever, you might have a little back and forth, whatever. But it's nothing major. Like those things just happen in sports, right? Coach gets on you about something you felt like you didn't do anything wrong, or you felt like somebody else missed an assignment and you got wrongfully blamed for it. You might have a little spat here or there, but it's over, it's done with. You move on from it. There's never been, as far as I know, in sports where you know, the coach has, you know, an issue with a certain player or a certain group of players where somebody is taking over the team and the other is not really doesn't really have a voice or doesn't have a role or have a say so. That doesn't really happen in sports. Um, but it's always understood that yes, the players are the players and the coach is the coach. At the end of the day, he has the final say. He makes the final decisions. It's understood that that is what is to be expected in that role of your coach and in your role as a player. Um,
Yeah. And like
there's
Trey was
no.
saying, oh,
I'm sorry. I was gonna say it. There's no. The player wants to do this, and the coach wants to do that. So there's like a pissing match, if you will,
yeah,
over who gets their way. Like typically, you kind of bring each other to the table. You talk about things. If you agree to
collaborate.
disagree, if you
Yep.
agree to disagree, you disagree. But at the end of the day, you're gonna have to go with what the coach tells you to do. And if you do go against the coach, then you find yourself either on the bench or in the pros. They cut you or they trade you or whatever. So at the end of the day, they still are the ones with the power. They still, have that type. They have that say so over their team, and they expect everybody to operate within that and under that.
And like Trey was saying, like with that too is you unless it depends that depends on the coach too, because some coaches you have like the Ted Lasso way of best idea wins. Like if I have a Udonis Haslam or somebody that's played, let's say LeBron James, play with a LeBron James, so in the fourth quarter when they got to go to a basket, he's gonna go backside and throw this pass. So tendencies, little things like that. That's the presence that vets bring too. Because some vets will tell you, "Hey, stand right there, stand right there." Why? It's just basketball IQ. It's just when you've been doing something long enough, you understand it and you see it differently too. And like Trigger was also saying, anointed assistant coaches, because at that point Udonis Haslam was more an assistant coach role than anything. So you look at him like coach, you already look at him because he's a vet like that, and then you look at him like you a coach because I mean it's just it's I don't know how to explain. It's for me it's a whole different level of how you look at it. Like I look at it like OG, like, but I
And
look at a lot of people like that.
it's like I was saying earlier too. It's like a lot of coaches on a good team, like a championship team, they want the players to be the ones to
Right,
get on. Like their veteran players, their senior players, they want those guys to be the ones to get on the team and hold everybody accountable.
accountable.
It makes their
Ooh.
job a lot easier. So they're willing to concede, that to their leaders within the team to make sure that the guys are, doing all the right things. Like, hey, if there's some disciplinary actions that need to be taken, the leaders of the team can address that rather than the coach having to, take time off of, game planning and all the other things that they do, recruit, uh, you know, run practice and all that stuff. All these other things can be taken care of by the players and the leaders within the team. So a lot of the times the coaches will delegate those responsibilities to either assistant coaches or the players themselves, the senior players to kind of you know be the acting coaches on the floor, if you will, to do the things that need to be done rather than have him take on all the responsibility.
Yeah, it's like a project manager. Like we all trying to build this building. Like everybody's coming together to work together to build this building. Everybody has their duties and responsibilities that they have together to come build this building. But we all know who is we all know who is the leader of the ship and all that kind of stuff. Like Trey said it beautifully. Chain of command and your pecking order. You know where you fall in it. Like, unless you have ego. Like ego is what comes into a lot of play for all that kind of stuff. And it's tough dealing with people egos when you're only what 1,500 of millions in the world. Like sometimes you do deal with egos,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just we all come together for a common goal. Like that's the thing. We trying to win.
Yeah, they all had the same goal. You know, they you're gonna agree to disagree. You're gonna butt heads. You know, with teammates, with coaches, the head coach, assistant
Yeah.
coaches, equipment manager, whoever. Like it's all part of the game. But all the good teams, everybody understands what their role is, what they bring to the table, why they're there, and they all make it work. They all fit within the system. There's no insubordination. Um, there's no insubordination, and and people just flat out not willing to do anything. Because, like I said, if that's an issue, then then some people will have to go, and usually the coach is going to be at the head of that decision. To
Talk
talk more
more
about the
about the
best
best
team.
team ever. Huh?
Yeah,
You
Boston
want to
escaped with the win tonight against the New York team. That's
escape?
tough. Yeah, escape because they New York,
Escape.
they were up. Oh, Kyrie Irving is such a great finisher at the basket.
He in the bag tonight, Uncle Drew.
Yeah, this is a high scoring game. It's gonna be a high scoring game. I mean,
Hey,
it's going
Victor.
bucket for
Victor
bucket right
looking
now.
good. Victor looking good.
He is so far. Yep. But again, with Boston though, they were up for majority of the game against the Knicks, and the Knicks finally came back. He even took the lead at one point, and Boston looked like they were about to drop one, and then they finished strong in the end, closed out the game, ended up getting a 4-point victory over the New York Knicks. But yeah, I like
Kyrie.
Boston. I like Boston this year. Yeah, obviously, them and Milwaukee will be the top two teams in the East. I'll just go ahead and say that right now because they both got better in the offseason. And I know me and you, be wise. We talked about it in the very early stages of our podcast and how the Celtics and the Bucks both got better, significantly better. Obviously, the Bucks adding Damian Lillard to play alongside Giannis. Hopefully, they're getting a healthy Chris Middleton. That'll be the difference between the Bucks being a number one seed or being a number two seed. It's the health of Chris Middleton. Now they lost Drew Holiday. They did sacrifice some defense and that, and I think that's why that was a great pickup for Boston because Boston traded
They
away
needed that
Marcus
Marcus
Smart.
Smart. Yep.
And Drew Holiday, I think, is a better defender, or he's just as good as a defender, but he's a better offensive player than Marcus Smart. So not only can he come in and do what Marcus Smart did, which is lock down the other team's best player, he can also give it to you on the other end too,
You
offensively.
saying DPOY? DPOY level?
Absolutely. Drew
Drew
Holiday can be in
Holiday?
that conversation. Absolutely. Like I said, he averaged 20 points a game last year. This is a guy who's known as a defender, a lockdown defender. Averaged 20 points a game last
You
year with
saying
Milwaukee.
defensive player of the year?
He can be.
I'm putting that as the title. Trigger said Drew Holiday gonna be defensive player of the year.
I ain't say he's going to be. I
Nope,
said he
that's our
can be.
clickbait. That's my clickbait.
Oh
Trigger
my
said that's my
god.
clickbait for the
Oh yeah,
clip.
we
Trigger
gotta get the
said
clickbait.
Drew
We gotta
Holiday is
get the
defensive player
clickbait.
of the year. That's my
Yeah, but he
clickbait for the
definitely
clip.
can be. I mean, the man's made all defensive first teams before. Like, this is no secret. Dude can play, and he can lock down and guard the best of them. And like I said, he can come on the other end, on the offensive end, and he can give it back to you on that end of the floor too, which is something that Marcus Smart was not
Yeah,
known for. Could he score? Absolutely. Could he shoot the three?
depending on the
Absolutely.
night, depending on what
Drew
night he's
Holiday,
hitting. Hot.
Drew exactly. Drew Holiday, I think he do it a little bit more consistently. So I think Boston won in that one. And then they went out and they got Porzingis, who
Yep.
can 7-3, can block shots, rim protector, and unlike Williams, the big man that they had originally, who was just really a defender and got
Who getting
garbage
worked by
buckets.
Wembyamba right now?
They got who got garbage buckets at the rim and was a rim protector. You got that in Porzingis, the rim
Oh, you talking about
protection
never mind.
part,
Different game.
and Porzingis can stretch the floor, can shoot threes, can get buckets. He led the team in scoring tonight. He had 28 points, hit some big buckets down the stretch to secure that game for the Boston Celtics. So Boston definitely got been out. I think Boston's issue, and I already told you, I think the difference between them and Milwaukee that I think will separate them is Boston's bench. I don't think they're deep enough. Now, we're all talking about Boston. We're talking about Brad Stevens. Brad Stevens, I don't know what it is about the Northeast and the general managers for all the sports teams up there. Howie Roseman, I'm talking about him, Philadelphia Eagles.
Bill Belichick,
But Brad Stevens, Bill Belichick, Brad Stevens is another GM.
Brandon Bean, Buffalo Bills.
Same, true, yep.
Come
Brad Stevens is another GM that if he sees his team needs something, he gonna go get it. He'll make his team better. He's the reason why this current team, has been assembled the way it's been assembled. Going out and getting Drew Holiday, getting Porzingis. Now
But
he had to gut his whole bench to do it, but that's why I say, man, I think they're a little top heavy right now, and I think that's where Milwaukee kind of has the edge over them. So Milwaukee has a little bit more of a bench, a little bit more of a supporting cast because they didn't lose all of them. They lost a couple guys, um,
but
but they still have a strong bench, a stronger bench, I think, than what Boston
can
does
you
right
give Brad
now. So
Stevens your
I trust Brad Stevens that he will, if that becomes an issue, like I said, they won tonight, but if the bench becomes an issue, I promise you, he will fix it.
can you give Brad Stevens your Pat Riley approach and figure that maybe he got people on the bench that we haven't heard of yet, or people that he can get the best out of?
Maybe. I mean, it's really early right now, and I said the same thing about Phoenix, right? We said Phoenix was very top heavy. They got Nurkic, they got Bradley Beal,
It was
they
good
got
last night.
KD, they got Booker. They went out and got Eric Gordon. Um, but we was like,
And then
man, they don't really have a bench. They gave up a lot of guys in the Kevin Durant trade, and then the
Bradley
Bradley
Beal
Beal
didn't
trade.
even play last night,
They
bro.
Yeah, he didn't even play last night.
He didn't even
But
play last night.
they gave up a bunch of guys for Bradley Beal and Kevin Durant. And I said the same thing. I was like, man, Phoenix doesn't have a bench. But last night they had a bunch of guys. I didn't know who they were, and I had never heard of them. They came in and they gave quality minutes. Like really, I think that
Yeah.
bench really did come in and they impacted the game. Like, yeah, Devin Booker had 32, KD had 18. Nurkic, he dropped, he scored in double digits, but their bench is what paced them. And if they can do that on a nightly basis, Phoenix will probably be the team to beat over Denver in the
Yeah.
Western Conference.
I don't see Denver because Jamal Murray can't go with Jokic can't guard KD, and Jamal Murray ain't gonna go with Book if that's what they're gonna get into because Book is gonna give it to him
Yeah,
just like he
Devin
gonna
Booker
give.
coming up. Yep, and Devin Booker coming up, pretty much playing the point guard position. I mean, that makes him even more
And then you
of a
got Bradley
headache to
Beal.
handle.
Who gonna stop
And
Bradley
Bradley
Beal when you
Beal,
gotta
I
stop?
mean, like I said, if their bench can keep up what they did last night, they will be just fine. Now, again, I didn't, Boston, the first game of the season. If Brad Stevens has a couple guys over there that are kind of like,
Ooh.
diamond in the rough guys, dudes
Yeah.
like Miami, they tend to go out and find dudes that just they turn them into something, right? We seen Max Strus and Gabe Vincent get
Mhm.
big contracts this offseason. These are two guys who were undrafted. So if Brad Stevens does have something like that sitting on his bench, we got to see it. Um, Again, for Phoenix, we got to see more of what that bench did yesterday against the
Golden
Warriors.
State.
So
They didn't
like
have
I said,
Draymond though. They didn't have Draymond, but
they didn't have Draymond, but they didn't have Bradley Beal. So I mean, you
yeah.
know, they were both missing,
Hey,
a really good player on both sides.
hey.
Well, it remains to be seen. I give it a couple months. Let's see if this bench is consistent. We'll see what the Celtics bench does. If Brad Stevens decides they need more, and if he decides to go get more, we'll see what Milwaukee's bench does when they're supporting when their starters kind of take their rest, take their minutes off. on the bench, and we'll see what the second unit does when they come in. Even with Miami, with Vincent and Struess gone, they didn't really replace those guys, in the offseason. Now
Ooh.
they did say that the guys they have on the roster right now um, would be special, and I need to see more. Like I had a chance to go down and check them out in Miami. I had a chance to get a good look at our bench players. They played most of the game. And I did see a couple things that I like. Like I'm very very fond of Hayward Highsmith. He plays great defense, and he can score the ball. He can shoot the three. Um, Jovic, like he was very streaky, but I think he can be really good. He's got nice size. He put on some muscle. I mean, dude looks buff. I don't think he played tonight though against Detroit, but
Talk about the rookie.
I think he'd be okay. Jaquez, I like what I saw with him the little bit of time that he got out there tonight. I think as time goes on, he'll start to come along. Um, Other guys, like
He can
Jamal
create his
King,
own shot. That's what I like. He can create his own shot.
yes, absolutely can. Jamal Kane, who came and I think played guard. I saw him play in the preseason up close and personal, and I really like his game. Um, any of those dudes could come off. Hopefully, I'm hoping for one or not two of those guys to at least be good enough to replace the production that we lost with Max Struess and Gabe Vincent. Um, and I think if they can, then Miami will obviously be a tough out. But of
Hey,
course, with Milwaukee and Boston reloading the way that they did, I don't see Miami running through the East the way that they did last season against these teams. When these teams are significantly better, and we lost players and didn't really replace anybody, kind of trying to figure out what we have right now, if that's going to be enough.
my
It
brother.
remains to be seen. Time will tell. I believe in Miami. I got faith that they'll, obviously make the playoffs. Um, but yeah, I think it's going to be a tough road this time because we're going to play one of the two, depending on where we're seated at. We're going to see Milwaukee or Boston um, in the playoffs, and depending on where we're at and who we go to, um, I think the outcome, with the team is presently constructed, may end up to be a little bit different than what they ended up being last year.
Bruh. Side note you right now. The West is looking good.
Well, we knew that coming to the season, man.
The
They're gonna be
Spurs look
competitive.
good, bruh. It's 68 to
Every
64.
Everybody gonna be competitive in the West, pretty much. I don't think there are any teams that is like, all right, they out of it. Like
They
I got
didn't
to look at
score.
I
They
got to
didn't
looking
score
at the Trailblazers.
140 right now in the first half between the Spurs and the Mavericks. The
Yeah, they
Spurs are
said it's gonna
looking
be
good.
the high scoring game, and they literally going bucket for bucket. Um, but yeah, they mean literally, man, it's not one team in the West you can look at and be like, nah, they ain't got a shot. Like literally anybody can make the playoffs, even the
CJ
Portland
and Zion
Trailblazers.
went off too. Sion and Zion. CJ and Zion went off.
Yeah, the Pelicans are a sleeper team. As long as Zion can stay healthy,
Yep.
they have a shot at making it. I mean, literally every team in the West is going to be tough. The Portland Trailblazers, yes, they traded away Dame, but I think they're still going to be competitive. I think
Trigger
they're
said they
still
got
going to be
better.
good.
Trigger said they got better.
Well, defensively they did. You got DeAndre Ayton in there now. You got Scoot Henderson, who's going to be
Yeah.
the heir, who was the heir apparent to Dame Lillard, and now he is the face of that franchise with Dame being out of there. And you got the other young guards, Shaden Sharp. They got Jeremy Grant. They signed to that big contract in the offseason. I mean, they're going to be tough. They're going to have a nice, tough squad. Full of young guys. A lot of
Yeah.
young guys.
The Spurs
So
are young, and I
Portland,
think they looking for young guys. It's because Pop is coaching. They young, but they young boys who know how to play within the game, and that's really what it is. Is you can have all the talent in the world. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard, and they just look
that's the quote.
efficient. They look efficient.
Yeah, they do look good. Like I said, I know this is just the first week.
Yeah, it's
Um,
first. It's overreaction Wednesday.
we'll see how it all plans out. A couple months down the road when things start to shake out and start to kind of settle a little bit. We're able to kind of see who's the top, who's kind of hanging around. So yeah, Memphis is missing Ja Morant right now.
Yeah, Spurs solid, but I don't remember the Spurs scoring like this, Amber. Like
Yeah, I
70
mean,
points in the first half.
yep. I mean, like I said, they literally going bucket for bucket.
Look at Zion. Oh my God, Zion, stop playing. That was Jaren Jackson Jr. too.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that dunk, that alley oop dunk.
Oh yeah, no, that was the yeah. Is it two alley oops?
No, I just
Zion
saw
looked.
the one.
It was one he got on. He was right on. Went up right against Jaren Jackson Jr. Yeah, I can't wait for the Olympics next year. Yeah,
Oh
the
yeah, it's
Spurs
gonna
were
be.
fundamental. Spurs are a fundamental team. I mean,
Yeah,
that's what
they
Tim
are.
Duncan was called, Mr. Fundamental one, or
Yeah, the big fundamental.
Big Fundamental.
That was his nickname.
I mean, but I think Wemby, he just got to get a little bit more size because I think would you say the overseas game is more physical than the NBA?
I feel like it is. They play a different brand of basketball over there than they do in the league. I mean, it's more team oriented. It's a
Right.
little more. It's more physical. I think it's tougher.
He fits into
Because
the Spurs because the Spurs is a team oriented. Popovich is a
yeah,
team
yeah, right,
oriented coach.
right,
Like
exactly. Yep.
Pace is 143 points, most for any team in the opener since 1990. James Harden won't be with 76ers on opening 2 game trip.
Yeah,
He
they
need to just
said
stop
something
acting like a
about him.
baby, man. I don't want to say that, but
Well, the only reason they're not bringing him on the 2 game road trip is
because he ain't
because
been
of
with him.
yeah, he hasn't been practicing whatnot, so they don't want to just throw him out there. They want to work him back into shape, I guess, and then they said possibly that third game, they play Portland, he could possibly be available, and that'll be their home opener. So I don't know. That's just something we got to keep our eye
Ooh.
on.
Porzingis had 30. Whew.
Yeah, I tell you, he led them in scoring.
No, they Tatum had 34
Oh man, well,
points. Most he
okay,
had the
second
most
leading
points
scorer.
by a Celtics player in their team debut, though. Porzingis got the most points by a Celtic player in their team debut.
Yeah, he lit it up. Like I said, he hit a couple of shots late down the stretch too. Clutch shot, hit a clutch three. Pretty much was a nail in the coffin.
The Hornets got to win versus the Hawks. Dang, the Pacers 123 to 120. Jordan Poole, you was 0 for 6 and 3 in your debut. You was talking that
Mm.
cash money. Halliburton 20, Brown 24 points. Is that Bruce Brown from Denver?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, we won't say nothing about the Pacers in the East. Are we worried about the Pacers in the East? The Magic 116-86 over the Rockets.
Yeah, I figured the Rockets are probably. I mean, the whole situation with Kevin Porter Jr. Not a
He
good
made
look.
Udoka. He gonna have to turn it around. I may be going to see the Magic here in Florida. They're gonna be playing the Knicks. Ooh, that might be a good one. The Knicks versus the Magic.
Mm-hmm.
That might be a good game. Ooh, the Cavaliers beat the Nets. We got some basketball going on this first. Then the in-season tournament starting too, November 3rd.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Ooh, Virginia Tech play tomorrow night. Syracuse at Virginia Tech. Cade Cunningham, 30 points, 9 assists as the Heat narrowly beat the Detroit Pistons. The Heat led by 19 with 9 minutes and 15 seconds left. Went
That's what I
scoreless
told you. They
the
were up.
final
They
3
were up
minutes.
nine. They were up 19 with 9 minutes to go.
Dame would have never let him go scoreless in the last 3 minutes. And Bam had
Exactly.
22 and 8.
Never
Jimmy
would have
had a
happened
double
with them.
double. The Raptors beat the T-Wolves. Edwards 26 and 14. Gobert 15, 13 and 4. Dennis Schroeder 22.7 assists. Anobi 20.6 rebounds, 3 blocks. Thunder crushed the Bulls. Genghis Alexander 31 and 10. Giddey 16, 6 and 6. Oh, that's where DeMar DeRozan is. He's with the Bulls. But yeah, McCollum 24 and 6. Zion 23 and 7 rebounds.
Mm-hmm. Pretty good day for him.
Desmond Bain 31 points. Tillman Senior 17 points, 12 rebounds, 3 steals for the Grizzlies. And the Kings and Jazz are playing right now. Kings are up by 20. Harrison Barnes, 28 points. Sabonis, 16 points, 11 rebounds. Jordan Clarkson, 18. And Collins, 11 points, 9 rebounds. And Clippers are up by 10 points on the Trailblazers, 20 to 10. Jamari Grant, 6 points for the Blazers. Zubac, 6 points for the Clippers. And that has been your NBA rundown by B Wise. PJ Walker is starting Sunday for the Seahawks. PJ Walker, 2-0 quarterback, starting Sunday for the Seahawks, with the Seahawks signing Frank Clark. How you feel about that trade?
Yay for the Celtics. So I was responding to Amber's.
Brock Purdy is in the concussion protocol. Sam Darnold may get his first start of the season.
Oh man, I don't know.
Tyreek Hill misses practice.
Who does San Fran play this week?
They play. Well, funny you ask. I have the NFL schedule up right here. They play the that was the Bengals in San Fran.
I feel like the Bengals are going to win that game, no matter who
And then
plays.
they got a bye week.
We could possibly watch the Niners lose 3 in a row.
We're going to see what that defense look like. Trigger, if they lose 3 in a row, you got to give me a little bit more hope. Hope for my team.
Of course. Of course.
If they win. Oh, I can hear us. Is that me? Can I hear it now? I can't hear it no more. Okay. Yeah, that was me. What time is it? Oh. But yeah. I just saw Rondo in some practice photos. What? Is Rondo still playing?
I didn't think he was bumping anybody.
But yeah, let me go and read you, Trigger, what's going on with the Big Three in the NBA. The NBA is reportedly under investigation by the Department of Justice over the Professional Basketball League's suspected interference with Ice Cube's Big Three Basketball League. I don't know why Yahoo is getting theirs from TMZ, but according to TMZ Sports, the DOJ is looking into allegations that the NBA has attempted to undercut the success and expansion of the Big Three by using its power and influence to stop potential sponsors, television networks, NBA players, and referees from working with the league. The source claims the NBA is said to have implemented rules barring current players in the league from participating in the Big Three. Although many NBA stars play in various summer and international leagues during the offseason, The NBA has allegedly used similar tactics in dissuading referees from officiating Big Three games, although they are allowed to work in other leagues. While the Big Three co-founders Ice Cube and Jeff, I can't pronounce his last name, believe the league is being unfairly targeted by the NBA, Mike Bass, a spokesperson for the NBA, has refuted those accusations as being untrue, saying we have been supportive of the Big Three since its inception, but we declined to invest. Bad said of the NBA's dealings concerning the Big Three. If the NBA is found guilty of violating antitrust laws, the league will be subject to a penalty and will be ordered to pay a massive fine.
I don't understand why they're undercutting them, why they're trying to keep them from prospering.
I
Like
would use it.
the big three will never be on the level of the NBA. That's like trying to get the XFL or the NFL undercutting the XFL from being successful. The XFL will never be the NFL.
I mean, you could take it. I mean, you could do so much with it. You can use it as. I mean, you got the G League, so you can partner with the G League and team up there, and Summer League. You can team up with the Summer League, and you can team up together and like help players transition or help players who can't play in the league. Maybe they can go into the Big Three league, and now the Big Three league has more teams and more players. And but then I don't think I worry about the Big Three becoming where like guys who didn't make it go and you kind of aging out the NBA vets. But I do like the competition because some of these NBA vets out there getting it.
Yeah, I just don't understand why it's such an issue for the big three to do anything. Why they're coming down so hard on them when, like you say, they're letting NBA players go play in other leagues and all that other stuff. Like we see
Mm-hmm.
The NFL and the XFL are in a partnership.
Yeah, USFL and the XFL they merged now, so they all three
Yeah,
leagues are.
they're all working together. So I'm like, why can't I mean you're talking about growing the brand of basketball not only just in the United States, you try to grow it across the world in these other countries and all that stuff, for these younger guys and everything, but why not with the older crowd or these guys who, you know, want to do something after retirement? They still want to play or want to be a part of something. Why not offer the big three and boost that up and put that out there and and expand the game, a little bit further in terms of age group, like having older
Big
guys
Three
be
women's
able to play
league
or women's league.
because you got 3-on-3 basketball coming to the Olympics, so this would definitely be the time to partner with. And I mean, no, because aren't the women? No, I'm sorry, I think it is going to the Olympics, but the WNBA just started a 3-on-3 league, didn't they? For the women that go to in the summertime. I think they're starting a
Not
3-on-3 league. I think that's what's happening.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I haven't heard about it. Them doing that.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
it could be
believe
out there. Be one
it's
of those
the
things that fly under the radar because of who they are.
because of what I think is what happened with Brittany Griner, and they wanted to give them
Yeah, give them
a
some
chance to make
options
money over
here
here.
here in the states rather than trying to go overseas and do it. Yeah, mentoring. Yeah, that's what they do, man. They bring them old guys in there and they just give back to this younger generation.
Side note: the U.S. men's and women 3x3 Pan American game team combined for a 10-0 record to keep the gold medal in the United States in 3-on-3 basketball. But shout out them. WNBA stars planning domestic 3-on-3 off-season league. They're co-founding a new 3-on-3 women's basketball league to give WNBA players an option to play domestically in the offseason. They told ESPN on Thursday. The Unravel Basketball League will run from January through March and would feature 30 of the top women's professional players on 6 teams. These teams would play 3-on-3 games and 1-on-1 at Soundstage in Miami per ESPN's Ramona Shelburne.
Okay,
And then you got that,
didn't
and then you got
realize.
flag football coming to the Olympics. It's a lot. But
Yeah,
I'm sorry, go
yep.
ahead.
No, I was saying I didn't realize that the WNBA had or was trying to get something. going on here outside of the league in the off season for them to do.
Yeah. So what's your thoughts on the trigger? You like it?
Yeah, I'm all for it. I can see them have something over here to where they can, get paid and shine, and they didn't have to worry about. I think it was pretty messed up, anyways, from the begin with. That they have to go overseas to supplement their incomes. Now, I get that the league can't just give them more money. Now, their
Right.
salaries and all that stuff are based off of what they're getting from the outside, as far as like sponsors, more viewership, merchandise, all that other stuff. Like, you can't just give them. Yeah, they're definitely worth bigger contracts, bigger money, but they just can't give it to them. They ain't got the funds to back it. And yes, the league is getting more popular. They're adding more teams. I think they're going in the right direction. I think one
Yep.
day, eventually, they will get there to where they can offer these WNBA players more money, so that they don't have to go and play any basketball in the off season at all to try to supplement their incomes. I think we'll get there one day, but right now, I think they're headed in the right direction with all these, um, increases in the fan base. And, talks of adding more teams. Playing more games, even possibly during a regular season, extending the season. Television deals, getting more eyes on the product.
I'm
It
surprised they're
all
not using NIL deals more because some of these girls making more in college than they are going to the WNBA.
Yep, yep. And I think eventually
I think it's gonna happen with FloJo
that'll
and
that'll that'll phase out.
Angel Reese is gonna be the first two that I think is gonna really become a thing where I can make more money in college than I would be playing for the WNBA.
Yep, and that's why she was there's no rush for her to go in the draft this year. Like I think if it weren't for the NIL, if the NIL did not exist, she would have 100% been in the NBA, WNBA draft right now. But she even came
Because
out of her
women,
own mouth and said it that she was making and doing well with NIL. Like there's really no rush for me to go get drafted. I'm probably not going to even get paid as much as what I'm making now. Or it'll be the same, so I might as well stay in school.
chill, relax, go win a championship. Hey, women's basketball is gonna be good this year. I mean, it's good every
Yep,
year. College women's
yep.
basketball got it's. I think it's some disparity between the teams, and I think it's Paige Buchers is coming back, but
Hmm.
I think it's gonna be some UConn. Are we gonna talk about UConn men and women's team getting the double national championship again? Are we going back to the days of UConn? We back in baggy clothes. We back to UConn.
Yeah, I
Uh,
mean, college basketball is such a crapshoot. I mean, yeah, you have your favorites starting off, but do they ever really win the championship every single year? No. There's always upsets. It feels like on a weekly basis. Teams that got no business winning or being on the same floor as other teams, finding ways to win games. But that's why we love college basketball. That's why we love March Madness because that stuff happens in the tournament too. So you just never really know. You just never really know until it's all over with.
that's a negative, Lady Ray. Those teams are people that play basketball all day, every day. Like
Hey, if they
those,
call me, I'm going.
I ain't, my knees can't hold. My knees can't hold up to sit in the chair for 2 hours. My knees ain't holding up on no Olympics.
Yeah, if they call me, I'm going.
Hey,
I can
me and
I can
Trigger
be a
gonna
mentor.
me and Trigger gonna start the semi-professional amateur athletic sports community leagues.
Hmm.
We're gonna have flag football, half court basketball,
Hmm.
horse, volleyball, and pickleball. No, man, I gotta get back. I want to get back in sports, man. Once everything start popping off, I'm gonna get back into an adult league. I'm gonna come out of retirement. I'm gonna go play receiver on somebody's flag football team.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, brother, I still got. Hey,
Hmm.
Trigger,
No, I
your
believe
boy
in
still
you.
got it.
I
I
believe
think
in
I, I think I can. I think I'm 4'6" range.
you.
I think I come out run 4'6". But if I run that
We'll see.
4.6, I ain't running nothing else until February 2024. I'm about to shut it down. That trigger going to sleep on me again.
I'm watching the Mavericks here. Oh, it looks like my eyes are closed. I promise you they're open. It's just the
Trigger, I
angle.
say that
It's
all
just.
the time too.
I promise it's the
Trigger,
angle.
I
I
say that
promise.
too.
I promise it's the angle. I'm wide awake right now, brother.
Huh?
Oh, what a pass! Oh, he messed it up. He called a foul.
Oh.
It's gonna be this game gonna come down to the wire.
Mm. But like you said, this is just the first game of the season. I think the in-season tournament is gonna be good.
Me too, because it makes the games meaningful. It works against load management, so guys feel the need to play their superstars. Plus, it's early in the season too. Nobody should be resting this early anyway.
That's what I said. I think with LeBron thing, I think it's because they can't load management per se. So technically, that 30 minutes is gonna be a load management. But LeBron, we know he may goddamn play 40-minute games. Like depending on
Very
who.
well might. I'm not saying he's never gonna play a 40-minute game this season, but he's definitely it'll be a few of them where he's in there and they need him. That was a dangerous pass. Oh God, he drilled him.
Yeah, there's no room for that in the sport right there. No need for that in the sport. But looking at that Denver game last night and the atmosphere, bro, that's what it was like when I was there. It was crazy. Yeah, I mean, they weren't raising banners or nothing, but they was. But then it makes me like, why did they go down to the wire against the Houston Rockets?
It just happens that way sometimes.
That's good though. That's what I love. Like it's just a random game. We just happened to be there and walk up on, and it was a Jokic tip in with a second left to win the game.
Yep.
I'm looking at Wemby, and I think he gonna be fine, bro. I think this might be the worst he'll be. Oh, he got 4 fouls. They say he was gonna get 4 fouls. That was a bet for him tonight. Was over 3.5 fouls, and he got 4.
Oh wow. Pro prop bet.
Yeah, because they say he got to get used to the NBA game because he is coming from a physical game, so people gonna
Mm-hmm.
get him with little jumping into him and all the kind of stuff that they're
Yeah.
gonna get in the NBA. So they said 4 fouls wasn't out of necessary. Oh, now it look like the Spurs are breaking down a little bit.
Go down to the wire.
Air ball. You think Deshaun Watson done with football?
Oh, I would say he's done with football.
What's acronym, Lady Amber Ray? What acronym are you talking about? You don't think he done, man?
I don't think he's done. I think right
Bro,
now, Cleveland Browns right now in a great, great spot. And they haven't even gotten consistent play from the quarterback position, which is crazy.
so do
But
you go out and get Andy Dalton or Kirk Cousins? For the Vikings, you still in it, so you're not trading Kirk.
talking about for Cleveland,
Hmm.
no, they're good with where they're at. I think Deshaun Watson,
I think his
for
confidence
whatever
gone, bro.
for whatever reason, he needs to just find a way to work himself back into it, get himself into a rhythm. And it's been hard for him to do so because he came back last year where he pretty much missed most of the season, and it
He
was
missed the
hard for
whole
him to
year. He set out the whole year, didn't he?
not the whole year. He came back.
No,
I
not
think
last
like
year. I'm talking about the year before that. He set out at the
yeah, the year
Houston thing,
before that, yeah, the whole
and
year
then
he
he
was
missed
gone.
most of the last 11 games
And
last year.
then
He was out
most
of football for almost two
yeah,
years.
yeah, almost 2 years pretty much. And I think it's really taking a toll on him, and it's
Hmm.
catching up with him, and that's part of the reason, if not most of the reason, why he's been very inconsistent so far. Hasn't been able to get into a rhythm, and plus these injuries, the shoulder is not helping him get into that rhythm. But I think once he does, the Cleveland Browns will obviously be better for it. But without him, without Nick Chubb, and for them to be in the position that they're in, I mean, you can't ask for anything better. Like they're on the verge of being, if they keep it up, they could find themselves in the playoffs. Like
Yeah.
right now, the Cincinnati Bengals are the fourth place team in that division. That should tell you a lot about how tough and how competitive the AFC North is right now. Baltimore obviously leads it at 5-2, and then Pittsburgh's over 500. Um,
What are they?
the
Four and
Browns are
two,
over 500. I
four and
believe they
three.
are 4-2. One of them 4-2. The other one's 4-3, I believe. And then Cincinnati's right at 500. They're 3-3. So if they beat the 49ers this Sunday, and they go to 4-3, and you got four teams in that division that are over 500. So
It's
I
it's it's
mean,
coming
that
down.
would be, yeah. I think they're the most competitive division in football right now because they're literally all the teams that are in it. Potentially all four could get in the playoffs. That would be wild, but it could happen.
Lady Ray, it's Loon VA, Loon VA, League of Older Niggas, Virginia.
Oh my God!
League of Older Negroes.
You made her wait for that. You made her wait all that time for that answer.
I didn't know what she's talking about. She just posted that to what it was, and I was like, I didn't know because I was thinking about what I said, and it was going to been like SSLLCSAN.
Oh wow!
Hey, Larry about to convince me to go be a referee. I didn't know they made that much. Bruh.
Yeah, I kind of heard a little bit about it. He's like, "Yo, you go
He
get
said
five
90
hundred
for
dollars and
JV,
win." I'm like, "What?"
90 for JV, 150 for high school, and that's not including if you do little league. He said little league you can come out with $500 on the weekend, $700 a week,
Yeah.
and everything a write off.
Yep.
That's 2 days. That's 2 days out the week, Trey. 3 days. I'm sorry, it's 3 days. That's Wednesday,
Yep.
Friday, and Saturday.
Yep. Be a good little side gig.
Hmm. Yeah, for my league, I'm coming. River City Sports League, I'm coming. Be prepared. 2024, I'm coming, and I'm bringing my bag.
Oh
It's
my!
Fashion Nova. Fashion Nova.
Fashion Nova.
Mhm.
I'm bringing my bag. It's great value.
That's right. I've been stretching. I've been working on my stretching and my strength. I got to build my calves up. I've been looking at how and they were talking about calves with Aaron Rodgers, and I was like, dang, that's right. My Achilles have been a little tight. I need to start working on my calves because they say your Achilles got to do more work. Your body got to do a lot more work when your calves aren't strong. I keep
I can
forgetting how
imagine.
and integral your calves are to your body. Ooh, give me that 2 for 1 knockdown. I remember shooting on an NBA court, man. I was like, it ain't that long. It can't be that bad. I was like, oh my goodness. And some of y'all shoot 30 times a game like this. Hey, you want to hit something
That's
crazy,
nice.
Trigger?
Nice step back right there.
I'm uh I'm 8 years away from having a son that's gonna be old enough to go in the NBA.
Boy, oh wow. I mean, yeah, I guess so. That is
8 years
wild to
away.
think about.
Elijah graduated class of 2030.
Mm. Amber said, "Sign me up."
NBA ain't ready for football. You ready for football? We playing tackle. We playing tackle. From 20 to 20 is tackle. And after that is two hand touch.
Mm.
Or should it be from 20 to 20 is flag, and then once you get inside the 20 is tackle? I thought about playing tackle football the other day, brother, and I remember how hard you used to
It
get hit.
hurts.
And,
Hurts thinking
and
about it.
I remember that
Hurts
summer we
thinking
went
about
out there. Were you with us that summer we went out there on Labor Day, and then it was so hot, and then we went to go play basketball, and the court was hot.
it. I don't remember.
This is when they probably just built Matoka new parks. Like, bro, we went out there to play football. You know, I got 2 picks. I did my Dion. I had my bandana on. I did my Dion. I got 2 picks. Took one back to the crib.
No, I
But
was out there. I was
yeah,
out
you
there.
you remember?
Yeah.
I got 2 picks. You remember? Go ahead and say 2 picks.
I don't remember
Pick
that
six was
part.
one. It was pick. It was 2 picks. Y'all can stop playing with me. Y'all know I'm an athlete, bro. Y'all know I'm an athlete. Cause I do this, bro. I'm ready to go play receiver and safety in somebody flag football league.
Mm.
I'll be the hitman too. I'm gonna take Harrison Smith, the hitman. I'm a hidden flag. Yo, I did not know who Jason Kidd was, bro. I didn't. I didn't know until they got right there and looked at his face. I was like, "Who was their coach for the Mavericks?" I was like, "I thought I knew their coach." I was like, "I don't remember this guy with the glasses." And then I was like, "That's Jason Kidd, bro.
Yep.
That's Jason Kidd, man. We used to see him hoop." I was thinking about that earlier. Think about in 10, 15 years who Mike McDaniel gonna be.
All right. Young guy too.
Yeah, he gonna be 46.
I mean, no coach
Think
for
about it. He gonna be
50 years.
46. Some coaches don't even get their first jobs in 40s. Frank's
Yeah, I say
62.
he gonna be an NFL coach for 50 years. Next 50 years.
Look, Sean McVay only what 37,
I believe so. Late 30s.
but he going to the booth. I think depending on this season how they did, he would go to the booth. But now I think he gonna go. He gonna hold it off. But I think he coming to the booth. If I was him, I would start a podcast, the Sean McVay podcast, where you
Most of
go
these
in and you
coaches
break down.
players got one.
What you think about Micah's?
I haven't like sat and listened to it, but uh, I like the fact that I've heard snippets and clips and stuff, things he's saying. It seems like he's saying some good stuff, talking about some good, interesting topics and all that. So I would listen to it.
I mean, especially on the lines like with the busting and the boys, and uh, I think Trey Young got one. I mean, podcast becoming a thing, bro. I mean, it's always been a thing, but I'm gonna take the time to shout out the Discord. Everybody, go follow the Discord that's in the description. We give live everything you can think of. We know Trigger hasn't joined yet, but he's gonna join us soon. So thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for watching. Trigger ain't joined the Discord yet, but it's okay.
Hey, look, I appreciate everybody out there. Shout out to Amber for the live
Shout out
questions.
our sponsor, Manscaped. Thank you, Manscaped, our sponsor. I'm just playing. Let me stop. They ain't sponsoring us.
I'm about to say, when you get that locked in,
Manifesting. Manifesting.
mm,
We need an underdog fantasy, a bet MGM, somebody, and a Manscaped. Just slide us a smooth $500 podcast. We'd be all right.
come on.
We'd be all right. We going there. We on the way. We 4 episodes in. This is episode number 4, big dog.
Ooh, yes. Coming. We coming. Coach
Episode.
Prime said we coming.
Yep. I got the Instagram started today. We're gonna start the Twitter, and we're gonna start posting and doing stuff there. And then we got to start the TikTok because I think we'll blow up on TikTok. They loving you on TikTok.
Loving who on TikTok?
They loving you on TikTok.
Oh, God, stop.
Let me show you
I
how
ain't even,
many. You got.
And
Oh my God! All my views at 0. Why is that? You better stop playing me, TikTok. I'm about to say it's about to be a fight. You got 561.
mm, getting
Oh
there.
shoot! You got 561.
Getting there.
So yeah, I'm gonna start the TikTok. That is the most viewed. No, it ain't the most viewed one. We got 648 on one, and we got 800 on one on YouTube. The first one we put up on YouTube, we got 800.
Okay.
Um, so we're gonna. You want to do the same thing like we did with our picks like last week? Send them in.
Yeah, it don't matter to me.
Yeah, you gonna have your uniform on. Send them in with your uniform. I can do a lot with that. I can put a little fire truck on there and some
Oh
sirens.
my gosh.
Wee, wee. Yeah, man, 3 hours, brother. 3 hours.
Man, it's crazy. I
Two
didn't
hours and
realize how
45
long.
live stream.
Almost three
So
hours.
yeah. But yeah, that was your closing words, Lady Ray. Bye. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for rocking with us for 2 hours and
Yes,
46 minutes.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Appreciate the support. Appreciate everybody's support.
We're
Um,
gonna send you a t-shirt. Trigger, I'm gonna send you some designs, bro. I've been working on some. I want to show you some.
oh yeah, send them
I
my
got
way.
some. I got some.
I'll let I'll let you know.
I gotta find the hats because the hats I want to do. I don't know. You remember what the Super Bowl hats look like?
Yep.
Well, was hats. I ain't gonna take my hat off because I ain't gonna show. I ain't gonna do that to myself. But it's not. it's not like it's not like this. It's like the dad hats, but all this is white. This is black, and then this is green. Like when that's green. Shout out to Cardi. Got this in Atlanta. I need to message them because they said they give me $200 if I post it. I need to go ahead and message them and say I've been wearing y'all stuff and posting.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
First
gonna go ahead.
sponsor.
Yeah,
First
I
sponsor.
wear that. You give me 200 times there, I wear it all the time, brother.
Yeah, give me some Ducati gear.
Hey, that's
I
how
give
I
you
work,
some.
man. That's how I work with brands. Hey, you a firefighter too, man. We can tap into a lot of brands with you.
Hmm.
I'm gonna try to get. We're gonna try to get something to get us some food. We're gonna need Uber Eats, DoorDash.
All
I need
that.
some free credits. Instacart, HelloFresh, Manscaped, Blue Chew. Oh,
Blue Chew. Oh my gosh.
come through, get your Blue Chew. But a live tune in. This is our second live. Next live we going 4 hours, so y'all stand by. Get ready. When are we going live next time, Trigger? Or you want to do a record? We do a recorded episode next time. We can
Yeah.
record
Next
it.
time. It's Tuesday.
No, it's Wednesday.
We could do. I think probably this Friday evening
Ooh,
should be. It should be good.
Friday evening.
Yeah, I got some
We might
stuff
drop
going
back.
on. Stuff going on Saturday. Like late. So I think Friday evening might be next best date if you're
Oh,
available.
I'm available. We do Friday. We might go live again. We don't know. We might do a recorded one. We'll see. Thank you, Miles, for to tuning in with us. He said his name is Miles, like
Mouse,
Booby Miles,
appreciate you, Mouse.
tuning in. But yeah, brother, episode 4 in the books.
Hmm.
6 more to go for the season.
Mm. Oh my
No,
God, he just banked that in.
we come far.
He almost came back one back. This is too good.
You talking
I
about this
mean,
game,
I can, yeah.
bro? They gonna go. I think they gonna get to about 120.
They on pace for it. So 30 points a quarter, they hit that mark pretty much. Yeah, we'll
Yeah, it's
see
gonna
how
come
this
down.
goes.
Like you said, it's gonna come down. Ooh, hey, Lady Ray. Oh, what time we coming in on? What time we coming in Friday? Lady Ray, Amber Ray. Your the Heat will be playing the Celtics this Friday at 7:30.
Woohoo!
So
Yeah, we come in about
yeah,
halftime. Maybe that game. Well, the same time about 8:30.
yeah, we coming 8:30 on that game, and we can go live and talk, and maybe you can come in and join us and talk about your team.
Yeah, if you give me a chance to watch the first half and kind of relay what I see in
And
my
we'll come in.
little spiel.
Soliloquy on
Hmm.
what happened in the first half, and is it time to trade Bam? He's gonna be trading Bam by halftime, so y'all get ready for that.
No, Bam's all right with me for right now.
if you could put Pat Bav's spirit in Bam, would you have a good player right there?
I don't think he needs Pat Bev's spirit, and then he be out there doing crazy stuff, taking out guys' kneecaps and stuff like that. He be doing all that.
I don't know, man. I think he need a running partner. I think he need another big with him, like you was saying. Like,
Yeah, they need another bit. They got out rebound. They got killed on the glass tonight, and then they won.
cause we used to have what Shaq and Alonzo Mourning at one point in time.
Yeah, I mean, you don't get out rebounded by almost 20 something and win. Like that don't happen.
Yeah,
You get out rebounded like that, and you getting 'cause, those rebounds are possessions for the uh the other team.
ain't that
They
what Kobe
got
said? Won't Kobe
way
saying
more
something like that?
possessions,
Yep.
way more
Kobe said something
possessions
like his
than
second
yeah.
chance points. Like a rebound is just another chance for us to score. Like that's a possession. Like if you can go
Exactly.
get like this.
They had more chances to score than we did, and we lost. No wonder we blew that 19-point lead.
Like,
Did
you
the
think
same
Eric
thing in the
Spoelstra?
preseason game. They were up 16 in the first quarter, and they not only did they lose the lead, they lost the game.
What time for what? The game is at 7:30. We probably be on at 8:30, 8:45. Probably, yeah, like Trigger said. Well, they probably start at 7:40, depending on, like you said, it probably won't be at halftime.
Yeah, by 8:30. By the time we go on, and like yeah, halftime, close to it.
Trigger will be wearing his Dwayne Wade jersey,
I might.
and I'll be giving my take on why I think Dwayne Wade is the greatest player to ever play basketball.
Mm, I can't wait to hear that one.
At least top five.
I'll be looking forward to that one.
If they ain't doing well, I'm finna be yelling. Well, you probably gonna be yelling. Well, I don't
Yep.
know, because if Bam come out there and let Porzingis and Al Horford and Tatum and Brown out rebound him. But that's what I was hoping Jackass would do. I mean, you 6'7", so I'm hoping you can get some rebounds too, and just push the ball in transition and just go.
Hmm.
It looked like Caleb Martin had the ball a lot tonight too.
Yeah,
And
he wasn't much of a he had much of an impact on the game. I don't know
you
if that
think
was
it's
because
because
he
he
didn't.
can't sneak up on people no more because they know like he in the scouting report now.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Gabe Vincent looked
Oh,
good for the Lakers yesterday. Well, when I say good, I saw him do one play. I don't know how good he really looked.
no, his box score was not very impressive. I think he only had 6 points and like 0 for 3, 0 for 4 on threes or something like that.
And
It started
Triggers
D'Angelo Russell over him.
D'Angelo looked decent as well.
I didn't. I thought he shot the ball pretty bad too. Honestly, the way the stats look. Oh,
I don't know.
Wimby's got 5 fouls.
I guess in the game flow, but like I said, I was in and out. The Nuggets look amazing, but I mean, and I'm talking in reference to how D'Angelo looked to end last season. with it, the way he was shooting, and he got those videos talked about. But I want to see Giannis play. That's who I want to see play. How he look with Dame.
We should get a chance to see that pretty soon. I think Bucks have a nationally televised game coming up at some point this week.
Dang, is this gonna be an issue going forward? Wemby and fouls? Because who's their go-to now that he in foul trouble?
Right.
Well, Vassell. You got right on cue. I like when they score on cue. My man got the Beijing on right there, referee.
Mm-hmm.
See how his top look with the spray paint? That's what I need. I need the spray paint to get my. See, look, see, I got it. It's there, but I just need to. I need to fill it in. Oh, I didn't put that on national TV. Dang, I played myself. Take your hat off. All right, Trigger. We trying to get 3 out. We had 256. But this has been another episode of Be Wise and Trigger Strictly Sports. We appreciate y'all.
Much love. Much love.
Carolina Panthers are gonna win the NFC South. You heard it here.
No.
Second or third.
No.
Trigger just hated.
Hey, if the Panthers win the NFC South, the Cowboys will win the Super Bowl this year.
The Panthers have a better chance of winning the NFC South than the Cowboys do of winning the Super Bowl.
You're probably right about that.
Gotta go.
Appreciate you. Making ridiculous claims. Let me throw that in there.
That ain't no